A woman had been hiding under a table without underwear for 20 years, and now every time she ate, she had to swallow 8 buckets of tap water, because this was a post-apocalyptic world where resources were extremely scarce. Every needle and drop of water I had came from the trade. Again without food, he returned to the same man from before in the hope of making another deal. That man had a massive stockpile of supplies. Originally, San Chun was just a clueless teenager, but through constant trial and error, he discovered that he could see hidden directions invisible to others. 2 days ago, he suddenly collapsed. When he woke up, a countdown was flashing before his eyes, and a cold voice echoed in his ears. Welcome to the apocalypse. The game of reincarnation is about to begin. A green skull flashed in his vision. Terrified, San Chun stumbled 8 meters backwards. Only then did he realize that he had landed in a world invaded by zombies. Indications of the system floated across his view. He muttered, I must have fallen asleep after staying up late. If this is just a dream, there is nothing to fear. Saying that, he raised his fist and hit himself in the face. He expected to wake up, but instead, a stream of vintage nosebleed splattered. Damn, that hurts. Dreams aren't supposed to hurt. With only 40 seconds remaining before the game started, San Chun frantically ran around looking for a hiding place. 34 seconds. 30 seconds. He spun like crazy more than 800 times and still didn't find a place to hide. Damn, dragging people down just to die, and you dare to call this a game. A wave of nausea hit him. He threw up a rainbow on the spot. Cursing, he yelled at the system. Just as desperation hit him, he saw a zombie fully armed from head to toe. Without hesitation, he charged forward. He tore the shield from his grip, and then snatched the grenade from his belt. At that very moment, the countdown reached 0. Zombies on the other side of the street woke up. The system rang. The game of reincarnation officially begins. Enjoy the game. San Chun was instantly pinned to the ground by a swarm of zombies. Fortunately, they were pure mindless attack machines. With a kick, he sent the shield flying. Turning, he tore the pin off the grenade with his teeth, his movements smooth and fluid. Come on, try my little toy. The explosion gave him a brief moment, and he ran out at full speed. That's when he noticed that other humans had also been transported here, all surrounded by zombies, and panicking in terror. Taking advantage of the chaos, San Chun ran out without looking back. Soon, San Chun arrived at the entrance of an empty restaurant. A red indication of the system flashed before his eyes, danger inside. Do not enter, What the hell? This one looks different from the last indication. Before I could react, 2 more men appeared. Another indication appeared. Supermarket ahead. 6 zombies in a single water bottle. If you are agile, you can try your luck. The 2 men charged straight towards the supermarket. Are they crazy, or are they martial arts masters? Just as the admiration was growing in his heart, screams erupted from inside. Damn, didn't they see the warning? San Chun turned to the street, where blue system indications were now floating in the air, marking danger zones and the locations of hidden supplies. Using those blue prompts, he gathered resources with ease. Even better, he found a vial of physical serum. The serum could evolve your body to be abnormally strong. The physiques of the survivors were classified as weak, normal, strong, and abnormally strong. Without hesitation, San Chun injected the serum into his arm. The veins bulged out, writhing like maggots under his skin. The pain hit like a giant wave. His eyes became bloodshot fiery red. A system alert appeared. Requirement not met. He must be strong to move forward. Current success rate, 30%. Failure will result in a body explosion. Son of a bitch, can you tell me this now? San Chun writhed on the ground, tortured by agony. To avoid attracting zombies, he bit his arm, muffling their screams. After what seemed like an eternity, he put up with it. Grabbing a bottle of mineral water, he swallowed it in 3 seconds. I'm alive. I didn't explode. Of course I do. I survived the disaster. Fortune must follow. Tears of relief welled up in her eyes. Suddenly, a desperate cry for help echoed from above. Who the hell is that? Try to attract the zombies. He looked up. A curvy woman was screaming at the top of her lungs. Even the zombies turned their greedy eyes towards her. San Chun snatched an axe and a shield. Wait, baby, I'm coming. This time, he chose not to run away. It was the perfect opportunity to test his new strength. The woman upstairs kept screaming, "There is no escape for you." San Chun swung his axe down. "Shut up. Your screams will attract more of them. Save me. Please, save me." He got through a little zombie with ease. His strength and reflexes had clearly gone up a notch, but the woman in the corner shouted, "I asked you to save him, not to kill them. They used to be handsome guys. Are you crazy?" Boom. The front door was slammed open when a horde of zombies burst in. "Move it. Keep wasting your time and we'll be dead." However, at this moment of life and death, the woman froze. She shook her head frantically. "No, I won't. I want to stay here and watch my handsome boys." The zombies rushed forward only meters away. San Chen no longer wasted his time with the delusional woman. He turned around and ran inside. Soon, San Chun came to a crossroads. A system message appeared, *left, no zombies, but a dead end. Right, elevator to the 3rd floor, guarded by 11 zombies. The 3rd floor is clear, *. San Chin chose the right path without hesitation, hacking his way through, swinging the axe wildly. He knocked down zombies one after another, leaving none standing. Finally, he arrived at the so-called elevator, but to his dismay, he required a VIP key card to open. Boom! A cloud of smoke erupted. A zombie dressed in full riot gear emerged from the haze. What the hell? Making an entrance like a superstar now. Then he noticed the VIP key card hanging from his belt. San Chun smiled. "You had to get it. I ate my axe, but the blade got stuck in his armored shoulder." The zombies blow through him several meters, and, incredibly, he released a burst like Pegasus meteor fist. The final uppercut threw a shield into the air. San Chun desperately dodged only for another zombie to jump at him. At that instant, his abnormally strong body became fully activated. He seized the zombie's skull and threw it directly at the riot zombie. Then he grabbed a fire extinguisher and unleashed a furious spray. The riot zombie staggered backwards. San Chun ripped the key card from his belt. "Then, my friend, rest in pieces." He ran towards the elevator, hitting the button. Just then, a pulse of green glow shot out of his carotid artery. Panting and shaking, he muttered, "Shit, side effect of his serum." Worse still, more zombies charged towards him. One of them had a gun in his waistband. "A gun, that's my real treasure. I need her." But his body was racked with pain, ready to collapse, and the horde was rapidly approaching. Survival came first. He abandoned the gun and jumped into the elevator. Moments later, the doors closed. He had succeeded. When he reached the 3rd floor, he was about to break down. Fortunately, he had given up the fight, otherwise, he would be dead. Staggering, he made his way to the presidential suite. Finally, he stumbled across the room. Remembering how the water had eased her pain before, she slammed open the fridge, and sure enough, it was full of bottles. Without thinking twice, he drank one in seconds. God, that hits the nail on the head. Feeling the serum residue dissolving, he flexed his hand in relief. With so much water, I can stabilize like a real abnormally strong. Tomorrow, I'll be back for that gun. Night fell, darkness was approaching. The zombies outside became stronger, outgrowing the surviving humans. Meanwhile, Sonin was feasting on a table full of snacks. The survivors outside were fighting tooth and nail to contain the horde. He was resting comfortably, drinking his 82 cola. Bite after bite, he gorged himself. Soon, her belly swelled up like that of a pregnant woman. At that moment, a figure with a long sword appeared outside, killing zombies, and even slashing humans without hesitation. "Your storage rings are mine. Thanks for the loot, you useless wimps." He smiled scornfully. Next up is the zombie cop with a gun in his belt. In this world, there was also a trade channel where survivors could trade freely. Most of them exchanged food and water for energy crystals to boost themselves quickly. But San Chung fought differently. He knew that resistance was key at the beginning. So he put his weapons and equipment in the channel. Sure enough, in 3 seconds, everything was exchanged, food and water poured in. At that moment, a new system message appeared. Someone had posted another article. San Kyan's eyes lit up. Among them was something that made his heart race, a complete map of the city. He instantly clicked on the private chat to contact the seller. That's how he approached the most beautiful woman in this world, and stumbled upon their awkward first meeting. "Hello, beautiful. Name your prize after the map. I need food and clean water. Only water will do." San Chun knew how crucial the map was, but he didn't want to show desperation. Putting on a scornful face, he said, "That map hardly serves me. I'll give you half a bottle of water and half a can of meat for the lunch I've already eaten. It's a done deal." To her surprise, she immediately agreed. San Chun froze, stunned by how easy it was. Instead of thinking that she had been deceived, the woman even thanked him by calling him a good man. Fighting shame, he replied, "We are all new here. Let's take care of each other." Looking at his table full of food, then back at his pathetic expression, guilt mixed with a flash of desire in his chest. "Why don't we add each other as friends?" But the woman's face became rigid. The next moment, he closed the chat window. San Chun sighed. Well, in a lawless apocalypse, for a girl to be cautious is most natural. Meanwhile, groups of survivors had begun to band together for safety. San Chun considered joining, but he knew that his ability to see hidden directions would cause problems and be discovered. In the end, he chose to move alone. While going through his storage, he found a set of off-road car keys. The system hinted, "Go to the underground parking lot for a key object." After eating his fill, he got ready to leave. "But first, I had to claim that gun that was hanging from the zombie cop." Fully armed, San Chun returned to his beloved elevator in the direction of the dreaded second floor. The doors creaked open, and tension invaded him. "Kill, kill," he roared, turning on his energy reserves. But when he ran outside, he found the flat completely empty. What the hell? Where are the zombies? Where is my treasure? Soon he noticed a pool of blood on the floor. Interestingly, it spread flat all over the floor. If the zombies had attacked, he should have splashed out. He realized instantly that someone had been hunting humans. Just as I suspected, another powerful player was lurking in this building, brutally killing the survivors. There was the hunter still nearby, but without a key card, that person would not be able to reach the third floor. Maybe they had already left. San Chun decided better to head to the underground parking lot for the hidden object. What I didn't know, just after he left, a faint sound came from the window. A shadow came through the frame. The mysterious figure scanned the empty hallway. Fast runner, could it be another abnormally strong like me? He must be carrying a lot of loot. He smiled scornfully. He'll never guess that I'm waiting right here. In the darkness, a revolver flashed coldly. Meanwhile, Sang Chun followed the track of the system, straight to the underground parking lot. Once there, he wasted no time searching. He simply pressed the remote control. A sturdy off-road vehicle honked in response. Suddenly, 2 zombies rushed out of the shadows. San Chen smiled. "Scare me." "No. Now you're the prey." With a few blows of his axe, he destroyed the 2 Karami zombies. After the fight was over, he ran to the vehicle. Excitement flooded him as he opened the door. What he saw next left San Chun completely stunned. In the driver's seat, there was a shotgun and several spare magazines. Jackpot! The hidden rewards of the system never disappoint. With the loot in his hand, he prepared to return to the presidential suite. But as soon as he got out, he froze. The noise of killing zombies before. And if he had lured the gamer killer here, no. To return directly would be suicide. So San Chun quietly slipped into the stairwell. He threw an empty bottle as bait. Clink. Sure enough, the movement echoed nearby. The killer was waiting. Another system alert flashed. Caution, elevator, armed man in the opposite room. I knew it. I was right to approach slowly. The killer opened his door, finding only an empty bottle rolling on the floor. Suspicion flashed in his mind. San Chen pressed himself against the wall while remaining perfectly still. Suddenly, a loud chant rose from below. followed by a cry for help. Damn it! That silly woman is still alive. San Chen's face tightened. It's not good. The killer is probably downstairs too. Crass. Glass is broken nearby. San Chen raised his gun and turned, but the hallway was empty. Did he really come down after her? If someone like that hits on me, I won't sleep easy. Meanwhile, the woman downstairs was still singing her song. Soon his audience arrived, handsome only in one sense, as they were all zombies. She shouted, "Help! Please put me down." "They're coming?" The vicious man scoffed. "Sing louder, faster, there are not enough zombies yet." Yesterday, he had seen San Chun cut down 8 zombies with ease and claim his loot. Thinking they were weak, he wanted to try the same. Before long, the woman was surrounded by a swarm of dead. "Come on, now is the time. He kills 20, and we retire." The fat man swung his sword at a zombie's skull, but the next second, the sword jammed. "What the hell? Why is it so hard? My dragon slayer is stuck." Realizing that it was useless, he fled with his subordinate, hordes of zombies chasing them closely. He risked a backward glance. The crowd was getting denser by the second. He put a hand on his subordinate's shoulder. "I'm sorry, brother. I'll live for both of us." The subordinate roared, "Fuck you, boss. Even as a zombie, I go. I'll be back for you." From his corner, Sang Chun coldly observed, "In the apocalypse, morality was nothing but tinder." No doubt the killer thought the same thing. Just then, the fat man veered directly towards Sang Chen's hideout. San Chen cursed under his breath. "Don't drag me into this. I'm setting an ambush here. You dare to ask me for help? You and that killer deserve to die. Karma has indeed struck." The fat man's foot got caught on a stone, and he fell on his face eating dirt. The swarm invaded him in an instant. Seeing the wicked meet their end, San Chun felt completely satisfied. A zombie suddenly turned his head towards San Chun. Damn it, he saw me. He grabbed his gun, but quickly realized that the shots would only attract more. The axe would have to do. With a single leap, San Chun shortened the distance. Moments later, zombie heads were rolling on the ground. His gaze went to the fat man lying dead, and he almost kicked the corpse in spite of it. But then a message from the system appeared. Other player storage rings are essential to improve your own. What the hell? So the only way to get better is to kill players. Din. Din. A man with a sword suddenly fell from above. San Chun dodged by a hair. The stranger smiled scornfully. "You thought you could ambush me, kid. I jumped out the window just to bait you, and you really stung." San Qian frowned. "How did you know he was hiding behind the wall?" The sword bearer burst out laughing. "That empty can on the floor, you just ate, right? How hard is it to guess that? You are still very green. Dying by my hand is not a loss." San Chin replied coldly, "Don't discard me yet, you cocky little brat." The man smiled. The fight broke out instantly, starting with a crushing blow. He followed up with a wild sword technique shouting, "This is the power of an improved physique." San Chun barely slid to the side, but a cut still grazed his face. "They're not bad reflexes, kid." Before the words were finished, a lightning-fast kick hit San Chun. "Try this one." He was thrown across the ground, sliding meters away. The man scoffed, "Pathetic newbie." Downstairs, as soon as San Chun's body was smoking, his chest was throbbing with pain. The man was hovering over him. So broken ribs hurt, right? San Chin's mind raced. He's too experienced. Guns won't cut it. Do you need another way? The sword bearer scoffed. Game over, little brother. Suddenly, San Chun jumped up and tightened his arms around the man's waist. "Oh, it's still moving." San Chun roared, "You bastard. Why hump the players? Can't we just survive together?" A brutal elbow slammed into his back, forcing the blood out of his mouth, but he refused to let go. Instead, he growled, "Didn't you say you had a gun? Use it. Let's see who's afraid." The man smiled maliciously. "As you wish." A golden light shone. He invoked a pistol. Sang Chen's eyes narrowed. Perfect. He lunged forward, sinking his teeth into the man's arm. The moment the pain distracted him, Sang Shan stepped back. His hand sank into the storage space of the system. A gun materialized instantly. In an instant, he pressed the barrel against the man's skull. Full counterattack. Damn it. That almost killed me. The killer collapsed instantly. Big brother, let's talk about this. Bam! The shot rang out all over the city. The sword bearer fell, his head shattered, but the shot had shaken the horde. San Chun, exhausted and battered, collapsed face down as the zombies approached. Just when it looked like it was over, a system chime sounded. The player Zhao Xi requests a private chat. God, what happened to you? In the private chat, Zhao Xi's voice sounded panicked. There's a horde behind you. Get up. I have adrenaline. San Chan cursed between clenched teeth. Are you crazy? Wait, did you say medicine? Yes, I'm sending it now. The object entered a storage space just as the zombies were approaching. A scan of the system showed that adrenaline activators provoke an effective berserk state 3 seconds after injection. Without hesitation, San Chun stuck the needle into his thigh. Please throw it out before it reaches me. Count after 3 seconds, 2.48 seconds, 2.05 seconds. At 1.5 seconds, he was already gripping his war sword tightly. His eyes sharpened, fixing on the approaching swarm. Come on, my little ones. His sword destroyed them. The zombies exploded into pieces. System alert, adrenaline pumping, 10 minutes left. San Cheng exhaled. 10 minutes is enough to return. But relief froze on his face. In front, an ocean of zombies squeezed shoulder to shoulder. He ran out frantically looking for a way out. Left, back, no matter which way he turned, they were infinite undead. With no way out, San Chun pulled out his gun. Then we'll go down fighting. Click, his eyes bulged. You've got to be kidding, empty. Before he could recover, a zombie pounced from behind. He turned, tripped and fell to the ground. Just then, something caught his attention. A line of parking barriers in the distance. That's it. Holding his sword. He charged, cutting. The zombies broke up in his wake. He approached the barrier. His hand closed tightly. Jack. He tore off a steel bar. Sword in one hand, steel bar in the other. He roared, left hand, sword peed. Right hand, whose sword? Come on, you bastards. Today I am the god of war here. An overwhelming blow shattered the horde, tearing the zombies apart by dozens. The show was so fierce that it captured the world's attention. Someone even shouted on the public channel for everyone to tune in. A god is facing the horde alone. The live stream is activated. But before Sang Chan could bask in his glory for even 3 seconds, a colossal shadow came out of the darkness. You've got to be kidding me. Sang Chun froze as a burly zombie, covered in tumors, hovered over him. A system prompt appeared. This path leads to the riverbank. The barbed wire ahead can block the horde. Desperate to get rid of the swarm, San Chun hacked his way through. At last, he reached the barbed wire barricade that the system had pointed out. Without hesitation, he jumped up holding on to the wire. Looking back at the blocked horde, he finally exhaled in relief. Brothers, comrades, I'm sorry, but I'm leaving first. However, he did not notice the faint green glow pulsing along his carotid artery. Less than a second later, a searing pain shot through his chest. A few moments ago, he had been cocky. Now he crashed from the helpless and broken wire. Fortunately, he landed on the safe side. The adrenaline disappeared, and the side effects of the physique serum arose violently. A system warning flashed. Upgrade to fully absorb the serum. The side effects can be denied. San Chin spat. Damn it. I can't get a break. He thought about the ring he looted from sword user Wang Huron. I hope it's full enough for an update. The moment he opened it, he was stunned. Holy shit! How much did this guy accumulate? Without further thought, he pressed the update button. Dean? Successful update. His pain disappeared. Instead, brute power coursed through his veins. System alert. Congratulations. Physical updated to the human limit level. Progress to awaken your level 5, bar 300 energy course. Sanxi looked at a nearby rock. He punched her. The stone exploded into fragments. Unreal. He stared at his unharmed knuckles. Did I really just do that? Then, to his surprise, tears filled his eyes. What the hell? Must be zombie dust in my eyes. He sighed to himself, surviving this massacre. There was one person I owed, Sao Ciji. Maybe it was the joy of being alive. For now, life felt really good. Suddenly, a shrill system alarm sounded. Warning, 10 days, until Phase 2 starts. The suppression of zombies and mutants will be lifted. Survivors, get ready. Everyone got the same alert from the system. Phase 2. What the hell? We don't even have proper weapons yet. Once Phase 2 starts, the zombies will be stronger. Humanity is doomed. Someone in the group tried to get them together. Do not lose hope. Our squad is growing. If we stick together, we can make it. The leader barked, tomorrow, we are going to the supermarket. We need supplies fast. Some of the strongest survivors shouted with fervor. I will lead the charge tomorrow. Together, we'll take the Fuxin supermarket on East Street. Meanwhile, after completing his upgrade, San Chun contacted Sao Ciji to thank him for the adrenaline rush. He sent her food and water. To his surprise, she devoured him like she hadn't eaten in 20 years, drinking 800 bottles of water in one sitting. San Chun frowned. Slow down, no one is going to steal it from you. Sao Sil looked up. I didn't expect you to actually survive. I guess my meds weren't wasted. San Chun replied earnestly, really, thank you. Without you, I'd be dead. She answered lightly, anyone would have done the same. Life is life, but San Kaian's chest tightened. Anyone in this world, how many normal people are there left? He muttered, there aren't many normal people anymore. Putting her to the test, he asked, have you been hiding under that table all this time? Are you trapped? Tell me your location. I'll come and get you. The face of Sao Si is shadowed. He moved to cut the call. San Chin panicked. Wait, don't hang up. I didn't mean that. I have a presidential suite. It's safe. It's comfortable. Hot showers too. You could stay here. His voice remained cold. Thanks for the offer and for the food and water. If you have problems, tell me. I'll help if I can. Click. The line went dead. San Chun stared at the darkened screen, sighing. He still doesn't trust me. His guard is very high. On her side, Zioxy curled up tighter under the table whispering, if only I could leave. The outsiders don't understand what the real danger is. A sudden creaking sound came from the window. Her eyes opened wide with fear. A huge claw came through the opening. The real danger he spoke of finally revealed its shadow. Back in his suite, Sanson rushed through the door late at night, but the moment he walked in, he froze. The window was broken. The curtains fluttered in the wind, the refrigerator stripped of water. Damn it, an intruder. San Cheng raised his weapon, marking every corner of the room. A second later, he relaxed a little. Whoever broke the tempered glass of must be strong. If they were still here, the system would have warned me. But then, a high-pitched sound came from the bedroom door. Sang Chan's body tensed up again. Sang Chen barked, come out. If you don't, I'll shoot. The door opened, and a tiny girl was standing there trembling. San Chin blinked. A little girl. His face hardened a second later. Little rat, was it you who emptied my fridge? She shook her head frantically. No, I didn't break the window, I didn't eat anything. But San Chin's gaze fell on the hammer in his hand. At least hide your gun before you lie. Her cheeks flushed, then she muttered, can I at least have another bottle of water? Are you kidding me? You took all my supplies and you still want more. He barely finished before the girl suddenly bent down and hit his foot with a hammer. The pain exploded. San Chung shouted. Before he could recover, the girl punched him. Blood gushed from his nose, sending him to the ground. When he came to, the girl was gone. Only his voice echoed from outside. Goodbye, old man. Thanks for the storage ring. Damn it, my ring. San Chin's teeth gnashed furiously. He cursed. How the hell did the system warning fail? If I don't catch that rat, I'll eat shit backwards. Just as he ran out, Voss, the girl reappeared. Wow, big brother. You also have a gun. Sun Chen quickly dodged. What now? Was eating, drinking, stealing not enough? Do you want my gun too? Suddenly, the girl slammed the door shut, panic shining in her eyes. Turn off the lights. Zombies are coming. San Chen growled, leave the theater. Give me back my ring, or you'll die with a horde. But then, a red warning flashed in his mind. Watch the window. A grotesque zombie in the shape of a starfish pounced, jaws wide open. Sang Chun froze. I've never seen anything like it. Just as the monster was about to bite, the girl swung her hammer with monstrous force and pushed it aside. Sang Chun gasped. Shit. Born with brute force. He got out of his amazement, fired his gun, and the bullet went through the zombie. The creature hit the ground. San Chun gasped, it scared the hell out of me. Dead? True. I guess mutated zombies aren't so tough after all. He turned to the girl, his eyes blazing. Now it's your turn, little rat. Hand over the ring, before you end up like a dead rat. But then, behind him, the zombie staggered to his feet again. He wasn't dead at all. San Chun panicked. Give me the ring. I ran out of bullets. The charger is in the ring. However, the girl was still looking at her gun. Throw the gun at me and it works the same. While they were arguing, the zombie lunged directly at San Chun's head. He backed up just in time. With a sudden shadow kick, he sent the monster flying as the zombie staggered. The girl took advantage of the opportunity and returned the ring to him. San Chen snatched it up in the air. He quickly retreated, widening the gap. The charger materialized from the ring. Clack, clack, the bullets hit the chamber. He raised his gun and unleashed a burst, but the zombie remained intact. He dodged it. This creature had intelligence. Seeing the firearm, the zombie changed its target, jumping on the girl. Help! At the last moment, San Chun attacked his Hu Clan sword technique by shining in the air. The zombie collapsed. Ding! Congratulations. 15 energy crystals acquired. San Chun sheathed his sword and coldly said, Go away, I will let you live for helping first. The girl shook her head. No, you have provisions and strength. Be my boss, protect me. San Chen raised his sword to warn him. Suddenly he shouted, Boss, you're hurt by that monster. Then he burst into a wild laugh. You're finished. 2 hours and you'll be converted. Give me your supplies now, and I will make your death quick. San Chun roared. A second ago, you called me big brother. And now you want me to die. The monster was lured here by you. Why the hell should I pay the price? She snarled, treacherous girl. If I die, I'll drag you with me. Terrified, the girl stumbled backwards. Hey, wait, what are you doing? San Chun scoffed. What do you think? Taking you with me? She screamed, no way. I'll leave first. When you become, I will come back and crush you. At the head. With that, the girl finally ran away. San Chun sighed. There are a lot of bad people out there, but this cheeky one can't afford to mess with her. The next day, the screams echoed throughout the city. Zombie boss, where did you go with all those supplies? I was only away for 1 night. Sanxi muttered, it's a good thing he had the map of Sao Sia. Otherwise, I would never find this place. There are no zombies here. A perfect retreat. He opened the door slowly. A silence so profound that his footsteps echoed loud and clear. San Chun scanned the room, checking every possible threat. A sudden noise strained his nerves. He turned around. The sound was coming from under the sofa. Crouching down, there was a mutated wolf cub, an energy beast, the Wolf King's cub lunar howl. Battle talent, rank S, can be tamed with meat. Perfect, an S-rank lunar howling Wolf King. The little thing growled uneasily from bristling. Sansu convinced him, come on, eat some meat. But the puppy remained cautious, refusing to approach. After sniffing several times, he finally advanced. That's it, eat. The puppy took its first bite. System indicator, energy beast cub. Loyalty guaranteed with 100 favorability. The current power is equivalent to a human with weapons, classified as an exceptionally strong one. San Chun was stunned. This little thing is already as strong as Wang Siren. I really hit the jackpot. Soon, he emptied his storage ring. There is only one piece of meat left. Airpan, not my defrogs. Just a little more favorability. The puppy swallowed it. Dean, congratulations. You've tamed a battle pet. Wolf King Lunar Hell. More details appeared. Name, Airpan. Species, Energy Beast, Moon Howling Wolf King. Stage Cup, as he grows, his combat power and abilities will increase dramatically. Favorite foods, meat, zombies, mutant beasts, mutant insects. Skill, combat amplification. In battle, size, strength, speed, and mass are multiplied. Sanjian burst out laughing out loud. You can even eat zombies. Easy to feed. Here, Erpin, drink some water. But when he turned on the tap, his smile froze. Instead, a green liquid came out, he muttered bitterly. With the second phase approaching, it's not just the monsters that evolve. Now, even the water is poisoned. The next day, while walking, he suddenly stopped. Seeds, real food seeds scattered on the ground. That night, a man and a wolf were digging by the shore planting. With the tap water contaminated, he had no choice but to use bottled water for irrigation. But if the rain never came, their supply wouldn't last. This is not going to work. I need a filtration system. And when the second phase comes, water defenses will not be enough. It also needs a fortified network. Staring at the darkened city, San Chun vowed that he would build his own hidden paradise. San Chun instructed Arpin to keep an eye on the place. Don't let anything alive get near the islet. I'm heading to the city in search of supplies. Stay still. Meanwhile, the public channel had erupted. The players were screaming about the new anomalies. Has anyone else noticed that the tap water has become cloudy? Zombies are stronger. I saw one the size of a bus last night. Do not turn on the lights after dark. There's some creepy shit that loves the light. Watch your step. Someone asked, has anyone contacted Wong Huron recently? Another posted, I have stuff to swap. A message made San Chun roll his eyes. Does anyone see a zombie with a shotgun in the sales center? That's my missing brother. I was about to close the channel when a recruitment post appeared. I'm so now. My camp has 15 survivors. We took the Street Fusion supermarket yesterday PM to join. Warning, groups have been stealing from lone players. Be careful. Sun Chun smiled at the theft warning. Half an hour earlier, a couple had been gleefully looting zombies in the house. Street, putting loot in the bags. They were busy taking an inventory of their living room. Then, out of nowhere, an arrow flew and pierced the woman's neck. Before the man could react, another arrow struck. They both fell. An assailant scoffed. I told you not to kill her. You didn't listen. Who else will provide for you? He moved to strip the corpses. Another man quickly stopped him. Wait a minute. Someone's coming. A figure with a knife approached in the distance. A voice on the communications urgently warned, attention to archers at the third floor window. The snipers were baiting the area with long-range weapons. Many squadrons had fallen for the trap. A woman on the top floor pulled out her bow, but the man next to her hissed, don't move. Don't blow our cover. It comes from the river bank where the zombies gathered. The distant man opened his communications and called quietly, Third squad, move towards me. I have premium swag. Inside, San Chun was already calculating. Cautious, fine. Let's go play. Going up to the third floor takes 20 seconds. They will run. I need to attract the ones down. Less than a minute later, San Chan was cut off by black silhouettes, dividing the street into choke points. Clearly, this was a gang job. Hand over your groceries, and we'll let you live, someone barked. San Chan replied coldly, I will tell you the same. Before he finished, a burly thug jumped out from behind roaring, dies. From above, the woman released another arrow. San Chun snatched the lightning bolt in mid-flight, but a burly thug hit him from behind, sending him to the ground. The bully scoffed, boss, come down. Stupid people. They still dare to say silly things. The gang leader tried to shut the woman up, but she couldn't help it. She jumped. Sang Shan kept muttering, small balls, how did you become a boss? From now on, listen to me. A felled bandit groaned on the ground. It's not good. Fourth movement, someone shouted. But Sang Shan jumped up, and with a single sword stroke, cut the bandit, killing him directly. All right, curtain. Everyone is finally here, someone sneered. Give me back my brother, another shouted. A flash of steel, another bandit split in two. A red alert suddenly shouted in Sang Chen's head, watch out, grenade. Boom. An explosion rocked the scene. The flames spread quickly. Boss, help, someone shouted. But the gang leader abandoned his men, pulling the woman and running, move. This is black on black. San Chun had already evaded in the shadow of the wall, muttering in cold blood, they wouldn't even save their own. Lucky I moved fast. You have a grenade in your pocket. Don't leave like that. Another gasped. Look at the speed and power of his sword. It's probably a physical limit. We can't handle him. Damn it. He's catching up with us. Don't run, little rats, the leader barked. Suddenly, the gang stopped. A towering zombie blocked his path, with an open mouth and foul breath. San Chun came up behind them, sword at the ready. Caught between a horde ahead and San Chun behind, the gang begged, we bumped into you by accident. Take half of our loot and forgive us. The massive zombie snorted. Forgive them. I want 80%. 80%. Your daylight robbery. One man panicked. Stop pushing. If that giant gets close, you can't run either. System hint, stay away from the giant zombies. They can kill you with one blow. The assailants looked at the giant, and sweat ran down their faces. Okay, 80% is it? But drop your swords first, and then we'll throw the storage ring at you. A man quickly threw away his backpack. He fell into the trap. Another hissed. When the bees get close, throw the grenade, then take the knife from the ground. A physical limit without equipment is nothing. Fight with me. I still have a gun, someone sneered. The giant zombie was advancing step by step, his presence suffocating. But at that moment, Sang Chun realized that his grenade was gone. Even worse, the woman had run away with her storage ring. Shall we? What are you doing? Someone shouted. The woman did not answer. Cold as stone, she pushed San Chun towards the horde. The assailants were quickly thrown out. One hit up in the air like a rag doll and was thrown away. San Chun staggered, bewildered that the woman could be so ruthless. You said you loved me, then block the zombies for me. His voice came out like a cruel joke in the wind. With a sudden twist, the woman pulled out the pin of a grenade. Boom! The explosion rocked the scene, smoke flooding the streets as she vanished into chaos. Sanson cursed under his breath. Damn it. That woman timed the explosion perfectly. The bandit's head was being chewed off by the giant zombie, as Sang Chen watched from the shadows. He approached, looking at the sword, and the storage ring under the creature's feet. Suddenly, the zombie turned his head towards him. His huge hand shot forward. Panic flashed in Sang Chen's eyes. A red system warning appeared. Stay away from the giant zombie. Chasing the bandit might be the wisest option. Without hesitation, he ran out. Forget it. I'll come back for my sword so later. Elsewhere, a squad of survivors from the safe zone arrived. This has to be the work of the assailants. Strange, his loot wasn't taken. Another voice shouted, Chief Sang, there is a bandit's corpse here. No, it's a trap. A corpse is the bait. The group immediately closed ranks, weapons raised. Suddenly, a woman came out of the shadows screaming, What's wrong with them? They chased me instead of the ring. Bam! She was thrown to the ground. San Chin came out with the shotgun leveled. Panic invaded the group. With a wave of his hand, he found what he was looking for. Flat, the basic water purifier requires a regular purifier, 5 energy crystals. Function, clean slightly polluted water for washing, and 4 crops, not for drinking. The survivors became tense. One Sissio, Jinyu, give him the rings. If he keeps pushing, Honda, take the squad and run. I'll delay it with Jinyu. Another quickly pleaded. We are just passing through. We do not intend to offend. A woman bent down seductively to pick up the rings, her eyes sparkling mischievously. San Chen cocked his shotgun. The metallic clack-clack sounded like a death sentence. The woman turned pale, trembling under the suffocating tension. I didn't kill them. Sandin said coldly, the rings are yours. They were your find. He handed the rings back to them and turned around. Someone shouted, at least tell us your name. Call me Lei Feng, he replied, without looking back. Later, he returned to the battlefield searching again and again, but his tang sword and storage ring had disappeared. Impossible. With the horde still here, no one could have gotten in. Forget it. Tommy, get back to farming. Hidden in the shadows, a little girl was admiring her prize. What a good sword. How lucky I am. I won the lottery today. Meanwhile, Sang San was out with his pet wolf cub, Arpink, leveling up. Whip, an arrow shot out through the air. The skull of a distant zombie burst open. San Chun smiled, releasing arrow after arrow. The skulls kept exploding like melons under his relentless fire. Erping also went into combat mode. Bat, smashing zombies. Note: Manhwa Wolfkin's amplified battle status can be activated at any time. The puppy's new shape hits hard. Clearly, San Chun also needed to level up fast. The system collected 13 zombie corpses, 5 fertilizers. Mutants, 19 energy crystals. Progress to wake her up. San Chun still needs 297 energy crystals. As the fight dragged on, San Chan felt uncomfortable. More Krauls were converging on him. He shouted to Artan, stop biting, finish quickly, something is not right. We're retiring? After only a few steps, a crow wall blocked their way. Too many, it's not normal. A disastrous event. I couldn't have known that the culprit was that seemingly harmless little girl. Let's split up. Just get out first. The spectators noticed the commotion. Look, he's surrounded by Krauls. Damn it. One cut, one death. Surrounded? It's him. The handsome boy from yesterday. Cut. Zhang San was freaking out when 2 trackers pounced from behind. Behind you, someone shouted. Jianin turned around and knocked one down. Then she pulled out her big baby and popped another one's head in. Elsewhere, the girl was simply napping. His body temperature rose to 70 degrees Celsius, which caused a worldwide calamity. System, congratulations. You have advanced to alarm clock. Range, alarm clock. I just took a nap and turned into an alarm clock. In the safe zone, panic spread. Too many trackers. This is weird. Cancel today's plan. Retreat. Zhang San ran through the streets cursing. I have been chased for 6 blocks. Don't they get tired? Suddenly, every monster on the street froze. What? Why is everyone stopping? Scanning of the system. A survivor has illegally advanced to wake her up. Phase 2 will start early. 59 seconds to update. Is it illegal to wake up? Who's cheating? System. When Phase 2 begins, juvenile trackers evolve into mature forms. Recommended. Delete now. 39 seconds to update. System. Find the nearest shelter, move. 25 seconds. To update. System, resource scheduling. Spawn of the Phase 2 horde. Zhang Sen cleared the stuck mobs and looked for a way out. Ghostly silhouettes of a massive, half-spawned horde appeared, replete with giant zombies and large trackers. Shit. With so many, how am I supposed to move? System, any other route? System, through the alley, 300 meters to the left, a full-tank heavy truck will appear, drive it to make way. Hyanshin groaned. Damn it, I can't even drive. With only 15 seconds remaining, he gritted his teeth. Fuck it, just a flyer. I'm going for it. He charged straight towards the phantom horde. After running 400s of meters, the horde was still spreading out. Jian Chun thought, Phase 2 doesn't really let people live. Fucked up. Time is almost up. Only 8 seconds until the update. With 5 seconds remaining, he finally saw a truck, but froze the next moment. An adult tracker was spread on the ceiling. A hidden hint teased, this is your gift. There is no possibility to open the door now. Jian Chun looked under the truck and decided to hide under it. He couldn't deal with it yet. He slid low and dived under the chassis. Of course, something had to go wrong. Halfway through the slide, he kicked a hard stone. Shit, where did that rock come from? He cursed. Phase 2 officially spawned. The tracker on the roof swooped down, pointing directly at him. Jonlin dodged hard. Great! Its size grew, the speed did not decrease. He had not even regained his balance when another blow struck him. Too close if my speed doesn't keep up. I'm dead, he realized. And without his Tang sword he couldn't get up and fight. I needed coverage. No more fighting. Jian Chun ran towards the truck as the trackers approached. A moment later, he smiled. There was a rocket launcher inside. He turned and pointed down the hatch. It's time to humiliate yourself. A rocket was fired into the air. Boom! The tracker went to pieces. Others were not so lucky. They were cornered by dense waves of zombies. Hang in there. Stay together. We can escape, someone shouted. Steel and gunfire flashed as they fought desperately. I don't want to die. I haven't even gotten married yet, a voice groaned. Then, with a thunderous crash, a foot the size of a mountain struck. Head snapped up. A giant zombie had appeared. We're finished. How do we fight against that? The giant is here. We're all dead. Total panic. Let there be no panic. Form up, strike, and fall back. Find a weak spot, and go through, someone ordered. No. There must be something to get his attention. I have a plan. Most of them can escape, but we'll need sacrificial bait to attract the fire. Shut up. That's unacceptable, another replied. This is a world where the strong take from the weak. Without sacrifice, we all die. You're too soft. Not us leaders, the discussion escalated. Stop arguing, someone urged. The giant zombie kept moving forward. Retreat to the manhole covers, the order rang out. But suddenly, the manhole cover flew out into the air. An adult tracker crawled out of the sewer. The crowd gasped. Zhengao stared in disbelief. This is it. That's a mature tracker. We're finished. Do you see that? You didn't listen. Now even the bait won't save us. Just as desperation was taking over, a roaring truck swooped forward. This is crazy, so damn exciting. Jianan roared. The wheels crushed corpses one after another, spraying energy crystals all over the road. In a short time, he had enough to ascend and wake her up. Johnson pressed the upgrade button without hesitation. System warning. Congratulations. Advance to the initial wake-up stage. Talent system unlocked. The truck is coming for us. We are saved, someone shouted. Hyanan held up a rocket launcher. Boss. A missile headed towards the horde. The distant zombies were swallowed by the fire. Impressive. We are saved. It's him, my idol, my hero. With the road open, Sengao gathered his people. Move. Stay close. Finally, they were freed from a siege. Meanwhile, the real culprit was still having fun inside the horde. She had awakened the talent to transform into a zombie. Perfect. Now I can mingle with the horde, take supplies, and never worry again. Then a small dog caught his attention. That dog was none other than Erpin. After shaking off the zombies, Jian Chun drove the truck back to his villa. Erpin also returned, greeting him at the door. Jian Chun bent down, stroking the puppy's head. Erpin, you're back. I was very worried. How did your wounds heal? The dog barked, apparently saying that someone had saved him and healed his wounds, but the system issued a warning. Danger, AR threat. A girl with a ponytail threw herself from above, with a sword pointed at Jian Chen's skull. Zombie boss, I won't let you rot in the wild. Jian Chun slid to the side with ease. So it's you, you little rat. He pushed her back and pulled the tan blade out of the ground. Well, look at that, my sword. She feigned concern. Why aren't you a zombie yet? Why didn't you wait for me? I've been looking a lot. Jian Chun scoffed. Looking at you, you are the one who is about to transform. What's your name? He asked. The girl puffed up with pride. I'm Sao once. This is my awakened ability. Jian Chen's face hardened. The tang blade headed towards his head. Forced, Xiaoqi released his blocking ability. A green mist emerged, enveloping Jian Yin. System alert, green corpse mist, solidification talent. Targets trapped for 30 seconds will be zombified. Facing his fury, Jian Chun threw up his hands. I was just testing you, nothing more. Don't take it so seriously. Cov. Although quite an impressive talent, who would have thought that this fragile-looking girl was a low-class zombie? To apologize and thank him for saving Erping, Johnson coldly muttered, "Thank you, Miss Sao, yes, for treating my pet. I'm sure you've already emptied my fridge. Can you go now?" Sao Si pouted. "If you're my boss, feeding me is only natural. How can you kick me out after only a little food?" Jian Chun instantly burst out, clutching a speaker. "Who the hell is your boss? And you call that little? Get lost." Faced with Jian Chun's ruthless rejection, Sao unclasped his hands and begged, "Don't be so ruthless. I have a lot of skill books, blueprints, and 30 ring fragments. All yours to cover food and lodging. Please, let me stay." But Jian Swan wasn't buying it. He screamed like a demon, "No way. I said no, and that's final. With you around, I'd have to sleep with one eye open. Too exhausting." He tugged at her ponytail, ready to throw her out, until his next words caught her attention. "I know where the armory is. Your ammo will run out sooner or later, then you will regret it." Jian Chun narrowed his eyes. "Talk. Where's the armory?" Sao once smiled. "I'll tell you in a week. If I say it now and you kick me out, I'll be the one who loses. I have to earn at least my maintenance first." Reluctantly, Jian Chun agreed, but ordered Erping to keep a close eye on her, especially at night. "Any movement, report immediately." When Sao once turned to leave, Jian stiffened. "Wait, didn't you mention skill books and blueprints? Hand them over." She feigned confusion. "What skill books? I don't have any. You must have misheard." Jian's eyes shone coldly. "Funny. My stock of rockets is still pretty full. I guess I don't need that armory after all." Realizing the danger, Sao quickly backed away. "Ah yes. I remember it now. If I have some." "You're right, boss. I'll give them to you." He immediately revealed his stash of skill books. Jian Chun glanced through them, and in just 2.5 seconds, mastered them all. Sao Se even handed over 30 ring fragments. Jian Chun scoffed, Fine, by voluntarily handing over things, you are learning." Back inside, Jian Chun checked his awakened talents. To his surprise, he had unlocked a rare dual set, genetic evolution, strong body and energy evolution, enlightenment. Blue energy swirled around him, forming a protective shield, with that defense and its sharp blade. So even giant melee zombies were no longer a threat. Meanwhile, in another sector, Captain Zhang and his squad were trapped, the undead swarming endlessly. They could only keep reinforcing the barricades. Suddenly, a hammer clanged on the ground. A man broke down and collapsed. "What's the point of bricking it up? The zombies won't get in, but we won't be able to get out either. We're dead anyway. This camp is just a coffin waiting to be closed." Morale plummeted, but Jin Yu tried to cheer them up. "Stay strong. We faced many pitfalls and difficulties before. Didn't we all survive?" However, another teammate let out a crooked laugh, his eyes turning blood red. "Surviving easy for you to say." In the next instant, he mutated and pounced on Senyu. "Senyu, be careful. He's been bitten," Sang shouted. At the last second, Onga hit like lightning, cutting the zombie in half. Senyu was already trembling, drenched in terror. Onga's voice cut through the panic, cold as ice. "Anyone who is injured, step forward now. I will clear a place for you to wait for the change." He added darkly, "If I find out myself, don't blame me for attacking them." The group erupted into fearful whispers until finally a frail boy staggered forward trembling. Well, Anta scoffed. In an instant, its blade was pressed against the boy's neck. "Honda, stop!" Captain Zen shouted, grabbing his sword. Hinju also stepped forward, demanding, "What are you trying to do?" Just as the knife was about to cut off the boy's head, Captain Zen attacked at the same time, but underestimated Honda's speed. The boy was still shot down. "Didn't you promise me that I would live to the end?" Captain Zhang roared, his face twisted with rage. Senyu's eyes filled with tears. He was the hardest worker just now. "He's always been a good kid." She pointed at Kyonda and shouted, "Bastard." With that, he raised his bow to shoot. However, Captain Seng stopped her by urging, Jinyu, put it away. We are surrounded by the horde. We can't fight each other now. Reluctantly, Jinyu gritted his teeth, and he lowered his bow. But the next instant, Kionda pounced on her with his sword. Anyone who wants me dead must die first. Seeing this, Captain Seng threw powder at him. Ongda quickly raised his knife to block. Still, his abdomen was blown off. Old man Zhang, for a stranger, would you use a hidden death move on me? I'm your childhood friend. I can't kill dead weight. I can't kill the bitten ones. I can't even kill someone who's trying to kill me. You are the merciful one, without guts. You will drag this camp directly to its doom. The two of us crossed paths together. I was the one who was most afraid of dying. Sengao, you saved me. Today, I am giving this life back to you. Honda roared, clutching his wound. Do it, kill me. But Captain Senga waved his hand. What are they standing there waiting for? Go away and heal him. Then his face darkened, cold voice. What happened today? Don't let anyone mention it again. Forget it. He turned to Genie. How long will our food last? 2 days? Tomorrow morning, when the horde is reduced, I will go and get supplies alone. If I don't get back by nightfall, it will be from the camp. On the 4th day of the apocalypse, while other survivors were still wandering homeless, Sanson already had an island in the lake, and had even started planting crops there. At that time, Herpin was busy digging up the ripe meat potatoes. Holding one in his hands, Sao once smiled with satisfaction. Only one plant produces so much, enough for all 3 for a week. John Chan lay lazily on the floor instructing, don't just think about eating. Remember to collect the seeds, and then replant them later. But Saoan's next words caused his face to darken instantly. Boss, meat potatoes are too watery, difficult to store. How about I use corpse mist to dry them? San Cheng jumped up in shock. Are you trying to piss me off? Do you want to turn us into 2 people, a dog and 3 zombies? Saoan pouted. Why so fierce? I just wanted to try. Well, I won't. San Chun scoffed, and checked the dried potato labeled in green. The product infected by the corpse fog contains zombie toxin, but retains the original appearance and taste. Seeing the effect, San Chun immediately ordered Sao. She hated another one, just to be sure. Sao Si raised his hand, and released green-grade corpse mist, coating the surface of the meat potato plants. After waiting for a while with no visible changes, Sang Chun explained from the side. That's exactly the point. This is the ultimate sabotage weapon, perfect for dealing with tough opponents. What shocked him even more was that when harvesting the meat potatoes, the name of the system did not even change. He had to be careful that his own people didn't eat them by mistake. In addition to that, he collected 165 units of wood. San Chun then spent 110 units of wood and 13 energy crystals to make 10 precision bows and 30 arrows. He handed them all over to Sao 11. Looking at the equipment, Ono wondered, only 3 arrows per bow. Isn't that too little? San Chan smiled like a slime merchant giving him a lesson. That's where you don't get it. Once the bows are sold, they will have to keep buying arrows. By then, we can set the price however we want. Sioxi smiled at him. Boss, you're bad. He patted his chest confidently. Don't worry. I'll make sure they sell like crazy. Just then, Sioxi has sent an exchange request. When San Chun clicked confirm, a huge pile of supplies fell directly into his inventory. He instantly felt that something was wrong and rushed to call Sao Siji. What appeared on the screen was his desperate and battered face. Covering her face, she said hopelessly, "Why did you make a video call to me? I've already decided to give up." San Chun pressed urgently. What happened? What's going on? At that moment, a monster smashed his window. She whispered in terror, "He's here." Sao Si's eyes sparkled with tears. "Big brother, I'm glad I met you. Thank you for letting me live so long. I hope these supplies will help you." Before San Chun could even ask for his location, the video cut off. Xiao added quickly, "That place looks a lot like the armory I explored last time." Damn it. That monster's foot was bigger than the whole window. San Chun grabbed her by the neck. "Tell me where he is now." She gasped in panic. You're drowning me. Let go of me. I'll talk. Okay. She stammered. It's there, but last time I only dared to wander around the outskirts. I didn't go into depth. San Chun barked coldly. Everybody get moving. Armory. With Cao Si in danger, he drove the truck straight at her. Cao once sat in the passenger seat, heaving a sigh of relief. At least the horde finally retreated. Yesterday, the city must have lost tens of thousands, but the face of San Qian was gloomy. Cao Siji, hang in there. At that moment, Xiaoxi saw someone dueling with a mature tracker. It was Captain Zhang, unleashing 3 flying swords at the creature. The tracker closed back, dodging 2 of them, but Zhang blinked forward, grabbed the last sword, and cut off the head of the tracker. Of observing the fight, Sun Chun opened his discerning eye. Limit of Constitution, active adrenaline. He needs 300 crystals to upgrade to awakened. He thought, this guy has just leveled up, but he is bold enough to take on only one variant. Fiercer than I was back then. Captain Sang even stuck the sword in once more to finish off the job. Meanwhile, San Chen's heavy truck roared beside him. Captain Sang's jaw dropped. Shit. He's blinding zombies with a heavy truck. That's on a whole other level. Soon they came to a stretch of open road. Sankin warned Jiaoxi, hold on tight. In an instant, the truck drove through zombies at 1 kilometer per second, accumulating energy crystals non-stop. Seeing the crystals pouring in, Sawan cheered. I'm getting energy crystals too. It seems to be shared equally. Following you really is a blessing, boss. But before his joy was over, a towering zombie giant blocked his path. She shouted, watch out, zombie giant, go ahead. San Chun didn't flinch. It crashed straight into him, shattering him. This is a reinforced heavy truck. Even a few more giants won't stop us. But before they could relax, a tracker suddenly clung to the side window. Sawan was shouted, it's a tracker. San Chun spun the truck into a skid, throwing it away. However, the creature pursued relentlessly. San Chun barked, you drive. I'll go out and finish it myself. San Chun and Arton were standing at the door of the truck. He ordered, Arton, get down and follow from behind. Trackers are smart. Wait for the right moment before attacking. After giving the order, San Chun jumped under the truck. There, a swarm of trackers known for their extreme speed approached him. San Chun immediately activated his shield. Lighting barrier. Activated, duration 15 minutes. But the trackers showed no honor, sighting him both from the front and from the back. San Chun had no choice but to block with his tan sword against those in front. Meanwhile, another tracker pounced from behind. He turned on his side, making him miss completely. Pathetic, do you think you can sneak attack me? He taunted, and then cut, killing another tracker on the spot, but slipped for a moment, and was bitten on the shoulder. Fortunately, the lighting barrier remained. San Chan smashed his fist into the face of the growling creature. Is that all you got? Go evolve a little more. His blade flashed, cutting off his arm. Looking at the tracker, he scoffed. Tactics against a human, you're still green. Even if you train for 2 more years, the result is the same. Then he threw himself forward, taking the offensive. In a sudden swoon, San Cheng changed direction, his blade cutting to another tracker instead. That's how you make a fun. Seeing his comrade fall, the last tracker turned around and ran out. Sang Chin exhaled. Finally, if I kept going like this, I wouldn't even be able to lift my arm. Fortunately, the shield had absorbed 10% of the damage. At the same time, the wound on his shoulder was slowly healing thanks to his fortification talent January. But the next instant, another tracker exploded. He tackled him unawares, crashing him into the edge of the truck. San Chun looked at him with disdain, trying to lure me back, you will die ugly. Just then, Erpin charged. The dog jumped on the tracker, giving Sang Chun his chance. He brandished the Tang sword in a clean motion, opening the creature's head. Sang Chun slapped Erpin on the head and praised him. You knew how to step up in a crisis. Well done. Meanwhile, Jiaoxi, who was driving the truck, shouted in panic. "Boss, go back inside." In front of them, a whole horde of giant zombies was gathering, creatures so huge that they were rarely seen even in this world. However, San-chun had run into a whole group. Facing the oncoming giants, San-chun jumped from the roof of the truck. "What are you waiting for? Get out of the way." Under his control, the reinforced truck forced its way through the blockade of giant zombies, but in the chaos, they were heading straight towards a pillar of the bridge. Fortunately, with the so-called 2.5 years of driving experience, San-chun turned at the last moment and spotted a giant zombie. The truck, however, was severely damaged. Xiaoqi cried, holding his hands together. "Boss, don't you feel like the truck is about to explode?" At that moment, a system warning sounded. "The truck will explode in 40 seconds. Flames were already pouring from the engine. Still, Sang-shan kept the truck at full speed. The smoke blinded towards Osi, while Arpan held in terror. "Boss, can't we slow down? I'm gonna throw up if I don't get out." San-chen roared, "Don't slow down." Finally, they reached their destination. San-chen shouted, "At 3 o'clock we jumped. 3, 2, 1, jump." At the last moment, they jumped free. The truck exploded behind them, destroying all the zombies in its reach. Sang-chen led Sao. She broke the armory. She asked nervously, "Boss, are we really going to come in like this?" Sang-sin coldly replied, "What else? You'd rather wait here for the horde to arrive." Suddenly, a system prompt appeared, warning. Inside the bunker lurks a giant lizard with a power equal to a stage 2 awakened. Proceed with caution. The warning hit San-chun like lightning, and then, the giant lizard appeared before them. San shouted to himself, "Have you ever seen such a big lizard? Even a god would crawl." She was about to be bitten, but San-chun pushed her away. The same, however, was swallowed whole. Arpanga fled in fury and shattered the lizard claws. Sao collapsed on the floor, tears streaming down his face. "Are we all going to die here?" In the next instant, San-chun came out of the monster's jaws, carrying a rocket launcher. Seeing him alive, Sao screamed with joy, "Boss, I knew you were too tough to die." San-chan scoffed, "Eat everything you see, and it will kill you first." He fired another rocket directly at the beast. System warning, finish the battle quickly. Attack before the wounds regenerate. San-chun got ready. He jumped high in the air, raised his tang dao and roared, "If you are sick, I will sacrifice you." But the lizard suddenly whipped out its tongue, hitting San-chun. He coughed up a mouthful of blood. Clutching his chest, he grimaced, "Damn, I feel like my ribs are broken. I couldn't prolong this." Then came another warning from the system. It targets the eyes, weak point located on the spine. San-chun barked, "Xiaoxi, hit his eyes with your corpse mist." "Roger that." Xiaoxi unleashed his fog. The corpse mist spread out, covering the lizard's eyes. Taking advantage of the moment, Sun San forcefully cut his spine. "This is the end for you." The giant lizard stirred angrily, refusing to fall. Growling, San-chun plunged his sword deeper and roared, "Die at once." The giant lizard, which was still struggling a few moments ago, finally collapsed under Sang-chen's sword. Looking at the beast lying at his feet, Sang-chen smiled broadly. It was finally over. Seeing him win, Sao ran away worried. "Boss, are you okay?" Sang-chen clutched his chest and replied, "I'm fine. Go check if Xiaoxi is already nearby." Meanwhile, his fractured ribs slowly began to heal. But Xiaoxi did not panic at all. Instead, he pulled out the system interface and took a picture. "Wait, let me take a selfie first, posting this on the channel. To the audience tonight, I can brag about this for a whole year." San-chun snapped, "Show off my ass. Go get her." Xiaoxi pouted and went to find Zhao Siji. Meanwhile, San-chun harvested from the lizard corpse 60 energy crystals, 10 fertility units. Using accelerator, an ampoule of evolved blood, 20 pieces of hard skin, and 10 sharp claws. System notice, evolves blood, precious potion material, hard skin can be used to make energy armor, sharp claws. Rare material for energy weapons. Then, San-chun and Sao. She started to call Sao Sil, but a sinking feeling hit him. Had he already died? No. Impossible. He couldn't have left. Just then, Zhao exclaimed to himself, "Boss, this way. Look, a window. It has to be this one." San Chen pushed aside the rocks that were blocking her. Sure enough, Zhao was inside, but she was infected. Fortunately, Zioxi's talent could purge the poison from the corpses. Although this case was so serious, it would take a long time. Sang Chun looked at the system notice on the nearby door. "Don't worry. Focus on treating her. I'll protect you." Ding. System warning. This room contains a large amount of firearms and ammunition. Sang Chun quickly opened the door. Damn it, an armored vehicle. That medicine that Sao did give me last time, it must have come from here. I can't believe I'm risking so much. No wonder she seemed exhausted. He started picking up weapons, thinking that with these, even that lizard from before would have been nothing. Suddenly, a noise interrupted his thoughts. He frowned. What is that sound? Stay there. I'm going to check. Following the noise, he found a golden treasure chest. But before he could reach it, a huge hand shot out of the well behind him. San Qian's body began to shake uncontrollably. The next second, a horned head emerged. Realizing the danger, San Qian shouted, "Xiao Si, go to the Iron Gate room and start the engine now." Xiao Si ran in a panic. "Boss, what's going on? The treatment is not over. Oh my god, what is this thing?" Faced with the huge zombie, San Chun fired a rocket to buy time, and then shouted, "Jose, take Xiao Ciji and run. I'll stop him." But to his surprise, the rocket did nothing. The system explained, "The mutant titan zombie type 3 possesses a strength, speed, and durability. Overwhelming. It can trigger sonic attacks." Songin cursed, "Are you kidding me? Is this supposed to be a zombie?" Fortunately, Titan's eyes suddenly clouded over with a green mist. Sioxi had released corpse mist. "Boss, he's blind now." San Chun barked. "Jose, start the car. Leave this to me." Taking advantage of the moment, San Chun jumped high, swinging his sword at Titan's back. But in an instant, both he and the sword flew out without even leaving a scratch. Titan turned, inhaled deeply, and roared a devastating sonic boom. Agile as always, Songin dodged and jumped on the armored vehicle. Enraged, Titan became enraged. It hit the ground with a terrifying force, cracking it completely. The position of the armored vehicle began to collapse. The next moment, they plunged into the deep well. Inside the falling vehicle, Yanshin cursed, "Why the hell didn't the system warn me? We're fucked. Don't tell me the system wanted this to happen." With a loud crash, the armored vehicle finally hit bottom. To their horror, they had landed inside a zombie hatchery. San Chun and Jiaoxi started dousing the nest with gasoline, preparing to burn it down. Xiaoxi groaned, "Boss, are we really going to use all this gasoline? Do you know how many bows it cost me to trade for this? My heart hurts." San Chun replied sharply, "Burn it all. If these things hatch, Tianyan City will be finished." Suddenly, a monstrous roar echoed out, and Sangin instantly went on high alert. From the hole above, the zombie titan jumped. Sangin looked at him and growled, "So fast already? How's he doing? Start the engine. Time to run." The titan hit the ground with a thunderous rumble. Sao got into the vehicle muttering, "I will never go out with the boss again. I'm risking my life every second." As the titan pounced on him, San Chun kept pouring gasoline and shouted to Sao 11, "Streamer, dodge him. If we get beaten, we'll be pancakes. Accelerate thoroughly and turn around." Seeing that the gasoline was almost running out, San Chun prepared to retreat. He threw a rock at the titan's face. "Here's one for you." Then he pulled out a rocket launcher. He shot both the titan and the hatchery before getting into the vehicle to escape. The titan roared furiously, trying to chase them. That was close. Thank God for the speed. San Chun exhaled as they climbed out of the nest. System prompt: 11% of Tianyang series monster hatchery destroyer. Reward: level 2 chest. San Chun stared at the screen. Only 11%. This nest is crazy. Just then, he saw a green silhouette. Don't tell me he's another new mutant. Hidden system prompt: Mutant type 2 zombie venom breeder, capable of spitting highly corrosive acid, extremely dangerous. Damn it. This poison zombie plays dirty. He spat a jet of acid at the armored vehicle. The helmet corroded instantly. What the hell? Can he eat through the armor? Imagine that on your skin. To make matters worse, 2 more poison zombies appeared spitting acid together. Seeing that the vehicle was about to dissolve, San Chun snatched the steering wheel from Sao 11, and then stepped on the accelerator. They sped through, desperate to escape. After what seemed like an eternity, they finally got out of the tunnel. The 2 hugged each other crying. We went out, we will never go back to this hell. But before they could rejoice, the zombies in the bunker were already closing in. Facing the horde, Sang Chun gritted his teeth and increased his speed. We have to take a detour or Tianyan Seri is doomed. However, the trackers were the most problematic. A tracker almost got on board. Sang Chun stabbed him directly in the skull. At that moment, the poison from Cao Ci's corpse exploded. It was not completely clean. Without treatment, he was transformed. Focus on his treatment. I'll take care of the zombies. Sang Xian shouted. They separated. San Chan brandishing a K in one hand and a rocket launcher in the other. Do you want to chase me? Under his suppressive fire, the zombies turned into loot. Let's go then. Let me show you the real power of fire. But against the Titan, normal weapons barely scratched it. San Chen ordered Sao 11 to drive towards the overpass. Lifting a super rocket launcher, he smiled. I don't believe it. A few thousand tons of overpass can't crush you. With a deafening crash, the overpass collapsed. About the Titan. Under the massive weight, the Titan roared in pain. Trapped in the riverbed, he could no longer escape. Song Chung finally returned safely to Tianjin City. On the streets of the city, Captain Sun and his team were eliminating zombies. It's getting dark. Move faster. Seeing Sang Cheng pass by in an armored vehicle left them stunned. Whispers of envy spread. Look, someone's driving an armored vehicle. I'm seeing things. Back at the villa, Sang Chun put Cao Ciji to bed. Xiao Si and Erping were dead tired, collapsing on the floor. Then San Chun looked at Xiao Si and said, We survived today because of you. Xiao once, you worked hard. Her eyes widened. She hugged her leg, bursting into tears. Boss, you finally stopped calling me Jose. I've been waiting for this for so long. San Chun patted his head. A tired but relieved smile spread across his face. San Chun patted Jiaoxi on the head and comforted her. From now on, we are family. Get some rest. Call me when Jiaoxi wakes up. After settling Soxi in, San Chun sat alone on the couch, checking out the day's loot. He opened the level, 2 chests. Inside were some outdoor tools, a talent crystal, a blueprint for a beginner energy armor, and a pack of advanced pet food. The talent crystal awarded an additional talent point. Under dual talents, both trees earned 1 point each. The energy armor could merge with his lighting talent, automatically covering his body in danger, and reducing the damage by 25%. Advanced pet food accelerated the growth of pets, but only before maturity. Without hesitation, San Chun used the crystal and began to distribute points. His talent panel lit up, showing 4 available spots. I'm always using the Tang Blade in hand-to-hand combat. Better to invest in damage and defense. He placed points in Energy and Fury Strike. Energy Strike, release a beam of energy from the hand. Destructive power that scales with the level. Fury, temporarily increases all attributes, while reducing damage taken by 30%. System message. Congratulations, Fury and Energy hit unlocked. Red and blue energy surged through Sang Chen's body. Flames of the same colors flickered in his eyes, burning marks on his arms, the mark of the energy stroke. The next morning, Sang Chun was still resting on the couch when the smell of roasted food woke him up. Cao Ciji, now recovered, approached with a plate of roasted yams. Sang San was stunned. He looked even more impressive in person than on the screen. Thank you for saving me, he said gently. My life is yours now. Sang San ruled it out. Don't say that. Without your medicine, I wouldn't have made it this far. We're even. Xiao Si, force-fed a mouthful of dog food, frowned. That's enough, you two. Eat the yam before it gets cold. But the couple continued to love each other. Sang Chen blinked. Wait, is this meat yam? I thought it was roast pork. See, you did this. Sao Ciji smiled. I studied cooking before crossing. If you like it, I can make it for you every day. I can't take this anymore. Sao 11 suddenly pointed out the window. Boss, look, a zombie titan. San Chen tensed up instantly. Where? Just to not see anything outside. Damn it. How are you? Do you dare to deceive me? The first dish he makes in his mind, without discussion. Seeing him arguing, Zhao Zi could only laugh. That's enough. I'll make another dish. After breakfast, the group started fertilizing the meat yam crops. During this, Zhao Zi handed San Chun several skill books and a journal left in the bunker. Looking at them, San Chun froze. One bore the chilling title, The Bloodstained Diary. From a diary, San Chun finally found out the origin of the zombies. On December 8, 2012, the virus mutated, making every infected person undead. The military imposed 24-hour curfews declaring that anyone found on the streets would be shot on sight. By September 29, 2012, the real nightmare began. Zombies were nothing compared to mutated insects and plants. Worse still, countless abominations came out of hiding, creatures that revived even after being killed. The main forces of humanity were annihilated, and weapons that were once considered powerful turned out to be useless. On October 12, 2012, desperation consumed the bunker. Another soldier pulled the trigger on himself. I've had enough of this. It was rumored that 3 fully armed mechs remained in the armory. The survivors planned to rob them and escape. By November 7, 2012, mutated diggers invaded the bunker. The soldiers didn't even reach the mechs. Screams filled the halls. The world of humanity had ended. Closing the diary, San Chun was stunned. This world actually had a warm coincidence. Determined to get stronger, San Chun led his group to hunt more zombies. Erping transformed into the lunar howling wolf king by tearing the horde apart. Sao Silla launched rocket after rocket from the building above. Sao once put on his sunglasses, wielded machine guns and smiled. Glasses on, heart gone. I'm the zombie Terminator. Under their combined firepower, the zombies were reduced to ashes. Raising his hand, San Chun unleashed an energy punch. Let's see what you can do. Don't disappoint me. Red and blue rays intertwined, tearing the entire street apart. When the explosion ended, San Chun's palm was singed red. He frowned. This move could only be used as his last trump card. Then he began to collect the loot. The system notified him that the conditions for alarm clock, level 2 in early stage were met. San Chun clicked on the update without hesitation. System prompt, full progress, alarm clock, early stage level 2 unlocked, more talent points. 4. The next level requires 6,000 energy crystals. Energy Strike also received a boost, distributing the new points. San Chun unlocked feline reflexes and wealth beyond measure. The first one increased the dodge and the jump by 150%. The second increased the yield of materials by 60%. He quickly tested the feline reflexes. Sao 11 gasped. Blah, boss, can you teleport? It's just my talent, San Chen explained. How many crystals do you still need to level up? Sao once's eyes watered. Me, I don't even have a progress bar. What? That's impossible. But Sao once quickly dismissed it. Forget about me, boss, have you noticed? The trackers seem to be avoiding us. I haven't seen a single one on the way. Exactly. Those things are too smart. If we let them be, Tianyan City is doomed. Let's go find them. Activating on Sarah, San Chun made the surrounding buildings become transparent. The detection range had expanded several times. There you are. At the same time, Sao Yes ascended to abnormally stronger, ensuring that he would no longer be a burden. San Chuna felt approvingly. Okay, let's finish off all the trackers in Tianjin City. The creatures gnawing on corpses had no idea that doom was coming. A grenade arched through the exquisite air. Exploding in the middle of the tracker pack, San Chun appeared in a hole in the wall with a grimace. Do you think a lookout will save you? Pathetic. Xiaoxi, I will lead you to the trap. Then we annihilated them all at once. Roger that. Xiaoxi replied dryly. Elsewhere, Yongda confronted Captain Zhang. With the zombie numbers decreasing, this is our chance to loot supplies. If we don't secure areas, what's the point of this camp? Captain Zhang replied coldly. Their numbers will be replenished soon enough. We are too weak. Making more enemies will only speed up our deaths. Kionta scoffed. Not having supplies is the biggest risk. Tomorrow, I'll seal off the shopping district. Come or don't come. I don't care. Captain Zen roared. Kionta, do you still see me as your brother? Are you still following my command? It's you who's acting recklessly, not me. If you had listened to even a fraction of my advice, things wouldn't have turned out this way. With their division irreconcilable, Kyongda gathered a group and headed to the shopping district that same evening. Watching them depart, Captain Zhang muttered darkly. The zombies are not here yet, but the man-made disaster is already on its way. That evening, San Chun and his team returned to the villa and enjoyed a lavish dinner. The final dish, Golden Harvest, was brought out as a centerpiece. Xiaoxi's eyes lit up. Wow! Sister Ciji, you are amazing. You turned one meat root into so many different dishes. Drooling, he squeezed his plate. These are all mine. Don't let anyone try to take them from me. San Chun shook his head. Really? You act like you've never eaten. I'm kidding, it looks like you weren't just starving here. Were you poor even before this world? Xiao Si quickly changed the subject. By the way, while you were gone, the sister was broadcast live. We sold all the bows at once. The chat went crazy. Even foreigners sent gifts. We have already exchanged for 30 barrels of gasoline. The truth was that Xiaoxi was not a transmigrant at all. She was a native of this world. After dinner, Sang Chun announced, Tomorrow we are heading to the bunker. Xiaoxi exclaimed, What? Does it really go into the bunker? Sang Chun nodded. The zombies in the city are not enough anymore. Before the next phase of the game arrives, we need the war mechs mentioned in that journal. He picked up the so-called premium pet food, frowning. Are you telling me that this pile of shit is premium food? Even a stray dog would despise him. This looks too much like, boss, are you sure it's not a mistake? But the irresponsible master stuck it to Erpin anyway. Come on, when has your master ever cheated on you? This is the only premium food in the world. Be good and swallow it in one bite. Erping's eyes widened a lot, refusing to swallow. Then, a torrent of black smoke erupted from his body, completely enveloping him. After a long moment, a huge claw pierced through the haze. Erping resurfaced in his lunar howling wolf king form, bigger, fiercer, flanked by 2 spectral clones. Sang Shan took out the appraisal. Name of the pet, to Erping. Species, mutated energy beast, moon howling wolf king. Growth stage, youthful eye, favorite food, meat, zombies, mutant beasts, mutant insects. Erping had advanced to the youth stage by gaining 2 new abilities, battle amplification, and primary howling. The first one boosted all combat stats. The second summoned 2 wolf cubs to fight alongside him. San San patted his head and praised him, worthy of an S-grade war pet. From now on, the safety of the island is yours to protect. No living creature passes by. Obey Sao Siji's orders. Once everything was ready, he stood up. Next, we marched towards the bunker. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Chang Dao led his thugs to the shopping district, massacring the survivors of other camps. One of the fat men pointed at Kionda and shouted, Is this the style of your gym camp? You tricked us into coming here to get food, and now you're going to eliminate us. Kionda immediately shifted the blame. Don't blame me. It was all Captain Sengao's order. I had no choice but to do this. Aren't you afraid that the word will spread, and you will be everyone's enemy? There will be no good ending for you, someone roared. Shonda feigned kindness. How about this? Leave your ring so that you can form, and I will spare your life. Deal? The fat man asked cautiously, really? Yes, Honda felt, of course. But when they spread Jun Ao's true face, don't say that it was me who told him. Reluctantly, they handed over their storage rings. Yes, Honda feigned great mercy and let them go. Once they left, his face twisted into a lewd smile. Zhen Gao, have you been desperate to build a good image for the camp? I'll make sure your name flies into infamy instead. Before he could finish gloating, a bullet hit him, sending him flying. He was shot by survivors from another camp. Meanwhile, inside the bunker, Sao once was startled by a poisoned zombie with her bristling ponytail. But now in the form of a zombie herself, she went, "What are you looking at? Tell me, where is the war mech?" The zombie Venom shook his head, as if he really understood. Sao tried it again, haven't you seen it? Big lump of metal, boom boom cannons that scare the zombies. Where is he? Finally, the zombie Venom pointed his claw towards the ground. Elsewhere, San Chun was desperately containing a Titan zombie, with his burst of energy. Even with his starter armor and lighting talent, 35% damage reduction, he still couldn't block a single hit. He gritted his teeth. "Xiaoxi, where the hell is that mech? I can't take much more." Following the directions of the Venom zombies, Xiaoxi pushed underground. "Yes, I finally found it. But counting carefully, there were only 4 mechs. Only one was intact. The others were junk, and even the intact one looked broken. Boss, maybe it's time to give up." He quickly radiated to San Chun. "The mech is damaged, and there are 5 Titan zombies nearby. We should run away." Bloodied and battered, San Chun growled. "Fortune favors the bold. I'll attract them. Get ready to fight." He cut off the call before she could answer. Moments later, flames ignited around the 5 Titans. A flurry of rockets exploded, driving them away. In the next instant, San Chun teleported right in front of Sao 11. She gasped. "That was all you, boss. How did you appear like this?" San Chun ignored his surprise and plunged into the repairs. "Let's talk." It spreads corpse fog and covers the area. The Titans will be back any second. Repairs will take time. Under the hands of his mechanic, the mech went into repair mode. Estimated time, 30 minutes. Xiaoxi had no choice but to hold the line. Sang Chun put 100 grenades in his arms. When the Titans arrive, get their attention. When the giant approached, Sao threw himself a mist of corpses, and then lifted a rocket launcher. "Boss, I'll do it. But when this match is fixed, you'd better come for me. Dragon people, don't lie to dragon people. We are family. If I keep breathing, I will never leave you." With fog and rockets, he made his way through the Titans with surprising ease. He threw grenades in all directions. The bunker rumbled with violent explosions. By the time the bombing was over, Xiaoxi had run out of ammunition and was completely exhausted. The boss hasn't moved yet. It must be the critical moment, but the Titan was still standing. He watched in despair as one approached. Shit! Her body was exhausted, and she was about to be devoured. Then the tunnel shook. A mech burst in piloted by Sang Shan. It launched around the Titans, and then landed in front of Chaos, and the mech is not completely repaired. Materials are missing. For now, it can only fly short distances. Quick, take it home. I will attract the Titans. San Chengan entrusted the mech to Xiaoxi with a firm voice. It's yours now. Don't let it get damaged. This is the last mech in the world. With that, he jumped charging headlong at the Titan zombies. Gritting his teeth, Sao piloted the mech back towards the villa. Don't worry, boss. We bleed for this. The little rat will carry out the mission. Facing the fierce assault of the Titan zombies, San Cheng unleashed a massive energy punch. In an instant, the horde of Titans froze, unable to move. Meanwhile, in the villa, Jinzhou ran in looking for Sangan's help against a group of foreigners. But the moment she entered, Erpin mistook her for an intruder. The wolf swooped down, attacking her without hesitation. Cut to another scene. And Anza had been kidnapped and dragged to an abandoned factory. Zhen Gao arrived alone with supplies to negotiate his release. However, the blonde foreigner not only took the goods, but refused to let him go and even threatened to send them to the west. Anticipating the betrayal, Zhen Gao opened his coat, revealing explosives strapped to his chest. The foreigner's smile faded. He immediately let them walk. Once Sengao and Kyongdo walked away, the foreigner ordered his bald thug to intercept them. Moments later, the bald thug blocked their path, taunting, running somewhere. "My boss has a little present for you." Kyongdo turned on Sengao. "Look, another failure. Why didn't you bring the brothers? If we had brought them, we would have been free by now." Sengao replied coldly, "I will not risk your life. All for you, so you never intended to save me. You just wanted to play the hero." The bald-headed bully burst out laughing. "Oh, already fighting with each other? Then hand me the bomb, and I'll let you go." Suddenly, Arton appears behind him, fangs bared. And Ongo, stunned, thought that they were reinforcements that Sengao had organized. But Jin Yusao from behind broke his illusion. "Run." Sengao sent out a smoke signal, making everyone back up. The bald thug was torn apart by Arpang's jaws. Elsewhere, the blonde foreigner was fuming. "It's been an hour. How come Baldy hasn't come back yet? He can't even handle a couple of wounded weaklings. Useless garbage. I had no idea that Erpin was already on them." When the wolf jumped out, they opened fire in a panic, but the bullets bounced harmlessly off his skin. Then Erpin summoned 2 spectral clones. With the 3 wolves attacking in unison, the foreigner's gang was torn apart. Escaping, Sengao and Kyongda soon parted ways. Tensions boiled over again after Jin Yu's intervention. Kyongda was fuming inside. "Sengao, you won't chain me down with your supposed favors. I'll wake up soon and replace you." Hours later, Kyongda was lying hidden in the tall grass. In front, a band of Sakura survivors gathered. Their bald-headed leader had come to avenge his dead brother. He ordered his men to place the chest uncovered. "Let him lure the fools and then ambush. And if that tamer shows up with a war pet, capture him alive." Suddenly, a thunderclap rumbled overhead. Sao on the mech was piloted back towards the city of Tianjin. The Sakura survivors looked up at the sky. Seosi frowned as he saw the heavily armed foreigners downstairs. "What are so many people doing here? He doesn't seem friendly." She tilted the mech as if to shoot in the hope of scaring them. Then, with a graceful maneuver, he rose. While the stranger was hurrying, Kyongda crept up to the unattended chest. A chest left behind. It doesn't matter now. Inside, he found an ampoule of mid-level physical enhancer. Her eyes sparkled. "This time, I'll wake up before Sengao." Back at the villa, Arton returned, jaws dripping, carrying space rings and weapons. Seoxy soon landed with the mech. On the way, San Chen drove the armored truck back. A video call tells him that Cao Si had accidentally saved the city of Tianjin. Still worry. If the foreigners had seen the mech, would they come back in force? To prepare, he ordered Cao Siji to prepare an ambush. "Trust me, I'll take care of them, and their supplies will finance the repairs of the mech." 2 minutes later, Cao Siji and Cao On were waiting on a rooftop with rocket launchers. When the enemies came into range, Cao CF fired by blowing up his tank, but the shot exposed his location, causing a hail of fire. Forced to retreat, the two slipped away through the smoke and debris. Downstairs, Sakura's bald-headed leader roared, "Hand over the mechi, you will live." Cao On spat, shamelessly. His target is the mech itself. The smoke filled his lungs, but he refused to give in. Meanwhile, he prayed that Arpin on the other route would arrive quickly. Seeing no surrender, the bald-headed leader took aim with his tank's flamethrower. A torrent of fire surged forward. Cao Siji shouted, "Down!" Just then, Cao On was heard barking. "Wow, wow, wow." Her eyes lit up. "It's Erping. He's here to save us. Run now." Erping crashed from above, hitting with his paw against the tank cannon. The Sakura survivors instantly redirected their fire by discharging bullets at the wolf. Inside the tank, the bald leader looked through the scope, aiming at Arpini in the chaos. A fiery projectile exploded against Erpin, engulfing it in scorching flames. Horrified, Zhao Si tried to move forward, but Zhao Si pushed her back. "Not now, we have to live. Only then can we avenge him." She dragged Chaos and away, but the enemy quickly approached. At that moment, San Qian roared with the armored truck. "Boss, Arton, he's gone." The tank exploded it. Sao once sobbed. San Chen's face froze, his voice trembled with fury. What? Erpin, they dare. I'll make these bastards pay. However, their guns could not scratch a tank. We will lure them to the Titan's nest. He accelerated at full speed, guiding them towards a cavern. The Titan zombie inside sensed intruders, and slammed his fist into the ground, shattering the floor of the cave. Another charged blow followed. The bald leader gasped, "What the hell?" before the Titan crushed him to dust. But the Titan staggered stiffly from overexertion. A system alert appeared. San Chun jumped on his head, and stuck his sword in his eye. Moments later, the Titan bled to death and collapsed. Team, system, congratulations. You are the first survivor to kill a Titan zombie. Reward, level 3 treasure chest. But San Chen's old wounds were stoked. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Sao once and Sao Si ran towards him. San Chen, are you okay? Before he could respond, the scavengers came out of hiding, plundering the battlefield. Staying behind is worth it. What a pity that the devil himself took all the good things. Their ordeal ended when another group shot them dead. Their leader was Sao Lan Chuan, commander of the Wolf Fawn survivor camp. The sniper who shot was Jian Chuan, also Wolf Fawn. They were looking for Jian Chuan to recruit him. Stand back. Jian Chuan's group desperately searched for Artong. Suddenly, the system boomed. Warning, 5 incoming trackers. With the injuries of the host, an immediate withdrawal is recommended. Even as he spoke, a tracker pounced on San Chun from behind. 4 more closed from all directions. Soki turned pale. Boss, they're all Type 2 trackers. Your wounds haven't healed yet. We can't. San Chin interrupted her. Relax, I'll take care of it. Just stay alert. His sword pierced the skull of a tracker. He turned and cut by splitting another one in half. Then, boom. The ground shook. San Cheng turned his head. A red-eyed, fanged beast emerged before him. Growled, "System, why is there no warning about this?" But the beast suddenly swerved, maiming a tracker instead. San Cheng blinked. He didn't attack me. The creature tore the corpses apart by devouring them hungrily. His eyes were open, devouring zombies. Wait, could that be the sound? Meanwhile, Sao Once and Sao Cg gunned down the zombies, who were trying to regroup with him. They did not notice a woman watching them from the shadows. San Chun saw her in the middle of the fight. Terrified, she fell to her knees begging for mercy. His eyes narrowed. You're from Sakura, right? His voice cooled. What are you doing along with territory? Just then, Sao Cg and Jiaoxi rushed over. Jiaoxi's sharp eyes caught something in his arms. Boss, what is it that you are holding? San Chen smiled faintly. Take a look. Do you recognize him? Oh, it's all black and ugly, disgusting. Jiaoxi scoffed, but Jiaoxi gasped. Wait, that's Serping. San Chen nodded. Yes, he was badly burned, but by devouring zombies, he has healed enough to get back up. The 2 women burst into tears of relief, hugging the wolf tightly. When a woman tried to run away, while Sang Chen was looking away, Tong, a sword, crashed to the ground in front of her fingers. Running away, you haven't answered me. San Chun coldly said. Speak honestly, without tricks. The woman trembled. My name is Jiaomi. I'm not from Sakura. I'm from Lan. She changed to a sweet tone, trying to seduce. You saved my life. Take me with you, big brother. I'll do anything. San Lin's face darkened. Xiao and Zhao CF stood up to the chutzpah. He remained impassive. Women only delay their advancement. Following the game, he demanded his storage ring. Then he kept her close as an accessory. We use it to catch the biggest shark behind. Crossing a bridge, spikes appeared on the ground and burst a tire. San Chun struggled with the steering wheel, scraping the armored truck to a safe stop along the guardrail. He ordered Sao Cg and Sao to stay inside, then jumped out to explore. Pin of the system. You are inside the shooting lane of a sniper. Seek shelter immediately. A flurry of gunfire whizzed by. San Chun backed up behind the truck, triangulating by the sound, located the sniper's nest at the top of the bridge. The shooter was Jian Chun Chun, the sniper from the Wolf Fawn camp. Another figure approached from the front. You're the one who cleared the armory, right? Let's talk, said Sao Long Chuan, Wolf Fawn's commander. From the coverage, Jian Chun snapped. He almost blew my head off just to talk. Inside the truck, Sao Siji's eyes got moist. He's my brother. Without a doubt, she came out immediately. I see you. It's dangerous. Don't do it. Sang Chen called her. As he moved to follow her, Jian Chen Xian ran over and then fell in front of him. To his surprise, she threw her rifle aside. He loses the intention to kill. I'm sorry. All right. He blinked, puzzled. Brother Chen, wait. Sao Siji called. It's a misunderstanding. This is my brother. Nani, your brother. Sao Lan Chuan smiled. I'm Sao Lan Chuan, leader of Wolf Fan and brother of Sao Siji. My pleasure. They sat down and exchanged stories. San Chen asked, why the traps on the road and the shooting? The members of Wolf Fang apologized. You just stormed the armory and killed the Titan. With the unclear sides, our precautions were understandable. Then if you don't foresee it from the inside, Shaolin Chuan replied, confirm your stance first. Long Bei's armaments should not fall into the hands of foreign forces. He invited San Chun to join Wolfen, to face a horde exceeding 100,000. More than 100,000, Jian Chun and Sao Siji were stunned. Yes, against such a tide, Long must stick together. That's why I'm recruiting elites and stockpiling weapons. We have established a survivor base in the south. Many compatriots are gathering there. San Chun, will you come with us? He considered it and then exhaled. No. If the horde comes, I will stop it outside Tianjin City. Sao Lan Chuan and Sao Chen Chuan were shocked by the resolution. Brother, he can't handle that alone. Sao Xia started, he raised a hand to stop her. San Chun let Sao Lan Chuan choose to follow him or his brother. He wouldn't force it. She wanted Sao Lan Chuan to persuade him again. He shook his head. It won't work. With the strength to kill a Titan, he could really turn the tide. At least he will survive this shattered world. Hearing that, Sao Xian knew his answer. She had chosen a long time ago. Between a loving brother and a man she loved, she chose San Chun. To celebrate his return, San Chun and Zhao prepared a feast. During dinner, Zhao Mei acted like a green tea, bragging about her tea skills before already. Sister Zhao, where will your brother's army be based? Tianyan is so big, who knows, for San Chun it was pure theater. I had already used Zhao, 11 and Xia. Don't tell her anything real. After the meal, he whispered to Arton, Sadu, Zhao made a gentleman. Let's see what tricks he's planning. Back in his room, he opened the system panel, camping system unlocked. Don't join any of them. Create your own. Description: 3 types of camp: shelter, survivor camp, secret organization. Given San Kaian's current strength, the system recommended that he establish a secret organization. He nodded, I'll take your advice. System note: the founder should be ranked among the best 1,000 in the world. Members must be in the top 1 million. Once they join, the members will forever serve their leader. They will never betray unless they are expelled. Members can join camps while hiding their true affiliation. The leader can teleport next to any member, the cooldown is applied. The leader enjoys supreme authority and can command eternally obedient servants. Creation costs 1,000 energy cores that increase over time. Sang Shan followed the suggestion and created a secret organization called Nightmare. Din, congratulations. You are now the founder and first leader of Nightmare. However, he was still alone. Xiao Si and Zhao Zhao were not strong enough to meet the top 1,000 requirement. Suddenly, Zhao Mei appeared in his bedroom scaring him, dressed as a maid with cat ears. She purred, brother, do you need help? Sang Chun smiled. Oh, so you came to help. The next morning, Zhao Si and Zhao Zi had breakfast ready waiting. Sang Chen came down exhausted, with Zhao Mei following closely behind. Actually, he had her cleaning the villa all night. Zhao Mei was enraged inside. No one has ever played with me like that. Just wait. After breakfast, they went out to clean zombies as usual. This time, there were fewer zombies left, and the loot was scarce. Sang San thought, Xiaomi might know where they are meeting. He asked, "Do you know where those trackers came from?" She replied sweetly, "An air raid shelter." "Do you want to go, brother?" Inside, she planned, lure him in there and finish him off. "If I secure the article, Yusuji will surely praise me." Cut to Kyongda, luring zombies into a trap. Once within reach, he pushed a rock down. The horde was crushed, annihilated. From afar, San Kian watched, system alert. The target is ranked within the top 1 million, eligible for recruitment. Meanwhile, Sengao's noise attracted a swarm. A tracker swooped down to smash it up. Slash, a blade pierced through the creature's skull. San Chun had saved him. Grateful, Sangao exchanged brief words of thanks, then led his people away. Later, San Chun arrived at the bomb shelter with Xiao Mei guiding. The entrance was blocked. He threw a grenade. Boom! Fire and debris shot out. When the smoke cleared, they went inside. Xiao Mei's lips curled. "Perfect. It's strong enough to get me into the lab. I'll get in touch with you, Suji, when I can." San Chun encountered a wave of slaughtered zombies under his shiny blade. A whisper echoed from a vent. He turned instantly, starting at a tracker sneaking up behind him. Xiaomi falsely applauded, "Amazing, brother." So many monsters disappeared in an instant. San Chun ignored her, calmly looting supplies. He waved her to keep leading. Secretly, she slipped a dagger from a ring. They came to a huge chasm. System pink. A hungry titan zombie lurked below. Another pink. Warning. Ambush imminent. In 2.5 seconds, you will fall. Be prepared to avoid injuries. Xiaomi stabbed him. Sang Cheng dodged late and plunged straight down. She cackled as he fell, but halfway through, Sang Cheng stuck his sword into the wall hanging in the air. He looked at the zombie titan. "Looks like you'll be the first." His eyes fell on a reserve of gasoline. "Hey, you silly brute, this way," he sneered. Barrel after barrel crashed. The titan crushed them with rage, soaking in fuel. Once soaked, San Chun lit a spark. "Boss." Flames engulfed the titan as it hurtled upward, riding the stream of fire. Cut scene, Xiaomi was already in the lab, reviewing documents, without finding anything. She opened a video call to another agent, asking if the information was incorrect. She flirted on camera to curry favor. The next second, a blade pierced his chest. San Chun appeared behind her. "If you hadn't been so quick to leak my address, you might have lived a little longer." She collapsed with the terror frozen in her eyes. Sanson pulled out the blood-stained diary he had found earlier, turning to a page with the same symbol. "So that's what they're looking for. What is your ultimate goal?" Just then, Xiaoxi called. "Boss, you were right. She is with the Sakura faction. We posed as lonely refugees and met up with their raiding party. A group of young women were also kidnapped." "What? Is she safe?" Sawan snorted. "We're both fine. Why are you only asking about her? I'm cute and pretty too." She added, "Check out a streamer named Wu Hengri. It seems to be related to them." San Chun entered the live room, where the host was gorging himself, while praising the benefits of Sakura forces. "Come to Jambi. Food, shelter, very friendly." In the middle of a bite, the host choked up. The transmission was abruptly cut off. Elsewhere, a chubby teenager vomited into a sink as a foreign mugger hovered over him. "Why did you stop? Keep eating, or you'll end up like them." Meanwhile, San Chun found a hidden corridor in the lab, while pondering the lock. A hidden message showed the door code. Click, the door opened. Inside, racks of ammunition made even San Chun pause. Among them, high-grade corrosive bombs effective against titans, and plans for a subjugation, parasite serum. Brainwashing any lower-level player into a loyal subject. "If this falls into your hands, it's a disaster," he muttered, noticing a gap behind a cabinet. "There is a gap." He lifted the cabinet to one side, crawled and blinked. The guard room of the armory. So he connects with the shelter. Scribbles on the wall showed that the foreign faction had also been here. Cut. Sengao's group follows crowds to a Hongbei base. A man in a black cap used insight to measure his power. Solid candidates, send them to the lab. Yusuji will be pleased. The blonde scoffed. The black cap stopped feeling something, scanned around and found nothing. Unbeknownst to him, Sao Siji Zhao, she followed him from the darkness. He and the blonde put up boxes. A show of goodwill, please help yourselves. People rushed to get supplies. A box exploded, a time bomb inside. The counter reached 0 boom, the bodies fell. The black cap said coldly, so much for the vigilance. You carry the survivors. We'll take them to Hyenbai's lab. From the shadows, Sao spat angrily. I knew those Sakura bastards didn't mean well. Who the hell believes in a free lunch? Tears filled Sao's and Jesse's eyes. How about a bad feeling? Why are so many of our people being captured? Meanwhile, back at the villa, San Chun had just returned from the shelter. As soon as he entered, Herpin came hopping up, wagging his tail. If there are the others haven't returned yet, Sang Chun muttered. He pulled something out with a smile. Here, I got you something, premium pet rations. You lost weight after that injury. It's time to gain weight. He stared at the dark lump, his face full of disgust. He barked in protest with teary eyes, but Sang Chung thought that he was simply moved. At that moment, Zhao Ci's video call appeared. Boss, bad news. Sister C's is heading to Sakura's base. I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. He said that dragon people cannot abandon dragon people. He will not stand idly by while they suffer. San Chun rubbed his temples. Roger that. Stay safe. I'm on my way. He turned to the bread. Take care of the house. Whoever dares to enter, make the pieces, leaving behind a stack of rations. He left immediately. Elsewhere, the captured survivors slowly woke up. Countless crimson eyes glowed in the darkness. Cold glances from the Sakura faction immobilized them. The crawls swarmed, running made no sense. The only option was to fight. From above, Yusuji smiled scornfully and threw piles of weapons. The data shows its weak points at the back of the neck. Do you want to live? Then prove it. I have beef stew waiting for whoever survives. Chijonda cursed furiously, you bastards. But the next instant, a growl pounced on him. With no other choice, he picked up an axe and swung it with all his might. Meanwhile, Sao Saijifan surrendered and was led to an underground corridor. Seeing her beauty and apparent harmlessness, Sakura's survivors gathered around her. But it was all part of a ruse. Just as they reached her, Sao's voice echoed from above. Hey cow, look up! A foggy cloud of corpses erupted. Sakura's men didn't have time to dodge and were instantly infected, turning into zombies. Sao An's eyes sparkled. Do you see that, Sister Sia? The boss taught me this trick. Sao Sia smiled wryly. Good tactic, but don't use me as bait again. I couldn't help myself this time. Now hurry up and free the others. Sao once ran to the iron cages and melted the locks with corpse mist. Then he broke the chains of Zen Gao. But instead of gratitude, angry voices were raised. If you're so strong, why didn't you kill them all before? They wouldn't have been caught. Zen Gao roared, stop it. Without them, we would already be dead. After giving Sengao some quick instructions, Cao Zi told her to lead the group, while she and Zhao Ella moved on. Stand back. Qiongda, relying on his abnormal strength, had somehow survived the carnage. Against all odds, Qiongda broke the boundaries of the human body. Yusuji narrowed his eyes and coldly ordered, Yoko, go take care of him. With a thud, Yoko fell. Without saying a word, he lashed out, his kick aimed directly at Qiongda. His heart tensed, strong. This woman is at least an awakened one. Say it, what do you want from me? He grunted. Yusuji's gaze was sinister. I want you to take me to the man on Lightheart Island and help me kill him. Meanwhile, Zen Gao was taking the survivors out as Sao Siji had instructed, but they refused to leave, complaining. Those 2 women are suspects. They gave us weapons but no food. If we go out, we'll just starve to death. We'd better stay here. San Lao roared, enough. Do you still think the Sakura will forgive you? Stay here and you're dead. But they put the blame on him. Spare us the lesson. They didn't do anything to us. If you hadn't attacked that woman Sakura, we wouldn't be locked up. Incessant insults fanned the fire inside Sengao. Her lips curled into a cold smile. The next moment, he burst into a maniacal laugh. The crowd froze at the sight of his twisted face. What a joke! I risk my life to protect them, and all I get is guilt. From the very beginning, it was not worth protecting them. A pack of ungrateful stray dogs. Maybe I should have listened to Che Hong Da. Hunting humans gives more experience than zombies. The tunnels glowed with crimson light as screams and calls for help rang out. Soon, all the accusers collapsed, leaving only one man standing. Trembling, Kurami begged, "Don't kill me. I'm abnormally strong. I can help you." Sengao scoffed, "If you're so strong, why drag yourself to the Akura to protect yourself? In this apocalypse, weakness, cowardice, selfishness can be forgiven, but betrayal, never." A nasty cut finished him off. Sengao then gathered up the fallen supplies. The system message sounded. Update conditions fulfilled. Do you want to move forward when you wake up? Without hesitation, he accepted. The power enveloped his body. In that instant, Sengao became an awakened one. Cut 2. Sun-san arrived at the gates of Sakura Camp. After confirming Cao Ci's situation, he prepared to infiltrate. Suddenly, the doors opened, and convoys of vehicles came out. San Qian narrowed his eyes. Sengao's lackeys, it must be the lot that did say that he already retired. I almost mistook them for enemies. But from his talk, he caught something strange. Looking for test subjects. Then let me play with you. The man in the black hat shuddered at Sang Chin's sudden appearance. Yoko, my intuition, I can't read your level. It's dangerous. At least one woke up, she added nervously. San Chin smiled, perfect. Me too. Before they could act, his blade so fell cutting. Yoko raised an energy shield to block. His arm transformed into a drill that stabbed forward, but San Chun pulled away in time. Meanwhile, the man in the black hat slipped away to look for reinforcements. San Chun's relentless blows still failed to break the shield. Yoko scoffed. You're modified with Vigine, right? I am modified with energy. You can't win, but cooperate with me, and I will forgive you and grant you the highest rank in Sakura. How are you doing? Sang Sen laughed darkly. Are you done talking? Then let's see which side is stronger. A thunderous explosion shook the camp. Sakura men screaming in agony. Sang Cheng scoffed. What happened to all that fighting? Come on, I face Titan zombies. Why would I be afraid of you, Sakura bitch? Enraged, Yoko abandoned the defense and launched herself at Sang Chun with a vicious lunge. Just as Yoko lunged forward, Sang Chun tightened both drill arms with his grip. With a sickening crack, the drill shattered. Sansen scoffed, You're right. I am not modified with energy. I am an awakened dual talent, and my level is higher than yours. In the next instant, his fist crashed. Yoko crashed to the ground, her life extinguished. Trash. I thought you'd be tougher. San Chun spat on the ground. At that moment, the system issued a hidden warning. Continue exploring the Sakura base. Find the truth of this world. Hurry up. Don't miss it. Meanwhile, Zengao absorbed the last of the crystal cores. Moving from stage 1 awakened to stage 2. Just as the joy welled up in him, a teammate called him by video asking if he was safe, and if they should go help. It turned out that Cao Ci and Zhao, she had rescued them, giving them the opportunity to call, but they had not seen. To the group that insisted on going to Jiangbai. Then came the words that froze Sengao's blood. Boss, Sister Hinju was taken apart by the Sakura. She's not with us. Sengao jumped to his feet, ordering his men to escort the others to safety. If someone drags you down, leave it behind. He hung up and frantically tried to contact Jinyu. After 2.5 minutes, the call was finally connected. Jinyu, finally, are you safe? I'm on my way there right now. But when Sengao arrived, the euphoria turned to horror. The sight drained all the color from his face. Hinju lay battered and broken on the floor. With tears and a weak smile, she extended a spatial ring. Brother Seng, you came. This is the ring of our camp. I kept him safe. I didn't give up. Sengao's eyes were burning red, tears Tears were streaming as fury roared in his chest. Cut to the man in the black hat, running back to the base, babbling at the blonde thug. "We're fucked." An awakened one burst in. Secretary Yoko is stopping him, but he's no match. Before he could finish, the flames burst out behind him. The caged zombies had been released. Black Hat's face paled. Impossible. Those were reinforced cages. Even the explosives couldn't break them. Forget it. The new base has already been chosen. This place was meant to be abandoned anyway. Withdraw now. Before he could finish, the blonde thug was blown out by a rocket sent directly to the burning northwest. Sang Chun came out slowly, with a rocket launcher on his shoulder. Running away, no way. Today, no one is leaving alive. The man in the black hat froze in terror and shouted, "It's him, the Dragon Nation fighter." His legs shook as he backed up. If San Chun was here, then Secretary Yoko had already fallen. Without hesitation, he turned around and fled. "I can't fight this. I'm leaving you, Suji. Maybe I can last a little longer." "But you," Suji teased without showing fear. He shouted orders to his men to open fire. San Chun, now at stage 3 awakened, barely felt a scratch from ordinary firearms. His speed was too fast for the naked eye. In the blink of an eye, he was on them. One strike of his tang sword, and several were instantly knocked down. Yusuji clenched his teeth angrily, helplessly. San Chun kept moving forward, eliminating every last subordinate. His eyes flashed coldly as he advanced. "Now it's your turn. Will you die by your own hand, or should I do it for you?" Refusing to give in, Yusuji pulled out a syringe, growling, "You will die here, dragon pig. Do you think you've won? Those samurai will not have died in vain." Without hesitation, she stuck the needle in her neck. "I will avenge them for the glory of Nippon." His eyes burned crimson as his muscles twisted and swelled grotesquely. San Chen tightened his grip on the tang blade. "That's an enhancement serum. It only works in the early stages. What you are now is nothing more than a zombie," and it was true. Only a trace of nuclear wastewater had turned Yusuji into a monstrous zombie titan. San Chen swallowed hard. These Sakura maniacs were crazy, turning into zombies with nuclear waste. Worse still, he still retained human consciousness. Yusuji hissing, "Call it what it is, a glorious achievement." Sang Chun moved blurrily behind him, sinking his sword deep into his spine. "Let's see, do you still feel pain like this?" He tore the blade, opening a huge wound. Sang muttered, "Chin, the defense is strong. Third stage awakened, probably genetically modified." Then he scoffed, "But you are weak. Real zombies are tougher than you." Hiding behind a thick skin, and calling himself woke, pathetic. Enraged, Yusuji roared, "That's thanks to you Dragon Nation fools. They level up by killing zombies. We level up by killing you. You are our points of experience, our test subjects." San Qian gnashed his teeth. "You bastards deserve nothing but death." On a rooftop, San Gao was holding the injured Senyu, looking down. She whispered, "Should we go and help him?" San Gao's fist clenched furiously, but for her safety, he forced himself to back away, pulling her away to rejoin the others. Below, the battle reached its climax. While Yusuji was staggering, San Chun took out a group of grenades. He opened Yusuji's mouth and forced them in. Jumping back, he watched as a thunderous explosion tore Yusuji apart with his body in pieces. San Chun spat coldly, "Garbage. To let you die like that is too merciful." San Chun picked up the fallen supplies. The system rang again. He was one step closer to discovering the truth of the world, and should check the carefully preserved map. Just as I was about to examine him, Sonao suddenly appeared. "Hey, San Chun, go to the rooftop now. At the northern head of the river bridge, there is a wall made of corpses." "What did you say?" San Chun turned to him in disbelief. Led by San Gao, they quickly reached the rooftop overlooking the bridge. Sang Shan took off the map, looking at the huge structure in front of him. A wall built with bodies. "These Sakura bastards really are monsters. You two, get out of here. I'll go check it out myself." "All right. But be careful." Zen Gao helped Jin Yu get ready to leave, but San Chun called back. That explosion at the base, it was you, wasn't it? Did you rescue all the Dragon Nation survivors that were inside? Zhen Gao replied firmly, of course, to the last. Well, I'm sorry I kept you. With that, San Chun disappeared in an instant. As he ran forward, he couldn't shake his doubts. San Gao had only been a maximum physical limiter before, but now he was already at the second stage of awakening. That kind of leveling speed was unnatural. Suddenly, a desperate cry for help put him out of his thoughts. One man was tied to a pillar with trackers rapidly approaching. Just as the creatures pounced, San Chun knocked them down with a single blow. As I thought, this wall of corpses is his work. Judging by its scale and the madness of the Sakura Nation, the horde of 100,000 zombies that Cao Lanchuan warned about must not be far away. At that moment, Zhao Si called, his voice panicked. Boss, this is bad. Someone broke into our house. Drone footage showed several heavy trucks pulling up in front of the villa. Anyone who has raised dogs knows that their food usually comes in pellets. The last time San Chun had hit him, erping a premium dog food that looked like black Oreos, but this time it was golden Oreos. Erping looked at the piece of food, completely speechless. Master, I may not be human, but you are a real dog for this. Just then, Erping's ears were abused. He heard movement outside the house. It turned out that the traitor Kyonda had brought a gang of lackeys from Sakura to the island of Lucin. The punk leader kicked open the door of the villa. He barked orders at his men. Get in there and kill everyone inside. But once they broke in, there was no sign. Instead, Herpin came out after hearing the commotion. Where did this little mongrel come from? The punk laughed. A lackey added, probably just his guard dog. The punk grabbed Herpin, who was still wagging his tail, and scoffed. They are idiots for leaving such a fat guard dog at home. Not eating, it would be a waste of all that tender meat. He pulled a dagger out of his storage ring, but in Arten's eyes, Punk himself was nothing more than fresh pet food. Much better than those supposed premium kibble. Unaware, the punk continued discussing dog meat recipes with his men. Suddenly, a shiver ran down his spine. He turned instinctively. Crack! A scream rang out, getting everyone's attention. Erping had transformed into the lunar howling wolf king. The Akura fighters froze in panic at the monstrous wolf in front of them. They rushed to fire their weapons. Shoot, kill him while he's distracted eating. But before they could react, Erping disappeared in an instant. The punk leader was already between its jaws, crushed in an instant. The others quickly opened fire. The bullets hit Erping's body, but they did absolutely nothing. Just then, a figure jumped out from the side. It was Chihenda, with the dagger raised as he lunged at Erping. Die, you monster! But when the blade hit Erping's skin, it split in half with a metallic crack. What? How is this possible? Chihanda's face twisted in horror. At Erping, he pounced and closed his jaws, snatching off her arm with a jerk. With a wild jerk, he flung Chihanda across the room. Chihanda collapsed, writhing in agony. His right hand shattered beyond recognition. Erping was not finished. He charged again, but Kyonda managed to roll over the wall and escape, leaving Erping biting the air. The remaining priest soldiers cursed him furiously while firing wildly. That dragon pig left us. He even closed the door behind him. We're fucked. Fight to the end. Erping turned on them instead. He summoned two clones. Together, they tore apart the last of the intruders. 2 minutes later, Zhao Siji and Zhao Siji stormed out of the villa with their guns drawn. We will fight to the death. No one intimidates our Orkan, but the place was silent. Only a little round-bellied dog lay on the floor, letting out a satisfied rash. 2.5 minutes later, San Chun came running back with his gun. The broken door frame made it clear that someone had really broken in. He rushed to open the bedroom door, only to be hit with a scene that almost froze him completely. Inside the bathroom, Zhao Zi and Zhao Zi were dressed in thin white clothes, washing the covered air pan of dirt. San Chin instantly closed his eyes, sweat dripping. Are they taking a bath? Erpin must have eaten all the intruders. No wonder it's dirty. Sal looked up. Yeah, we just want to clean him up, but he's not cooperating at all. See, it even soaked our clothes. As she wrung out the cloth, the wet cloth clung to her body, faintly outlining the skin underneath. San Chun almost got a nosebleed on the spot. He turned around to escape from this dream paradise, but Sao Sen suddenly shouted, Chun, are you okay? I'm fine. You guys keep going too. He ran out the door. At that moment, something was wrong with Arcane. The dog suddenly started vomiting violently, gushing out the equipment he had swallowed earlier. Chun, look at this. These Sakura bastards were carrying a lot of supplies. Xiao Zhao shouted excitedly, but San Qian wasn't looking at the loot. His eyes were glued elsewhere, with the nosebleed flowing again. He stammered, Xiao, let me explain. Before he could finish, he tried to run out the door. A blushing Zhao is threw a bar of soap directly at her head. Pervert, where were you looking from a moment ago? San Chun fled back to his room, embarrassed, when a video call suddenly appeared. It was Sao Long Chuan. San Chun, is she with you? We have arrived at the southern refuge. I tried to call her, but she hasn't answered. Oh, Sia. I was busy just now. He's taking a shower. You'll have to wait. Sao Long Chun's veins swelled with rage, wanting to strangle San Chun through the screen. Busy? Taking a shower. Realizing his slip, San Chun panicked. No. You've got it all wrong. It's not what you think. After a long series of frantic excuses, Sao Long Chuan finally calmed down. Forget it. Let's get back to business. I'm sending you something. Accept the transfer. San Chun quickly sent him the huge amount of weapons he had found in the bunker. In return, he requested large quantities of corrosive solution, reinforced steel leather, and ice lotus flowers. After reminding him to take good care of Sao Ciji, the call ended. But once Sang Chan remembered the scene from a few moments ago, he almost lost control again. Stop, I can't think about that. The priority was to deal with the incoming horde. Next step, build high-power corrosive pumps. The next morning, San Chun led Zhaoqi and the others to the head of the bridge, planting rows and rows of infrared mines. Sao Kil frowned. Chun, why not blow up the bridge? Zombies can't swim. Wouldn't that stop them? San Chun shook his head. We are talking about 100,000 zombies. A river won't stop them. Better to leave a gap and attract them all. I see. I was thinking too simply. Sao Zi looked frustrated. Sang Chen patted his head gently. Get some rest. According to Long Chuan's reconnaissance, the horde will arrive in Tianyan in the next 2 days. That's when the real battle begins. That night, darkness fell. They were resting inside the vehicle when a thunderous noise outside suddenly woke them up. A huge hand suddenly came out of the ground. Moments later, hordes of trackers emerged, the earth shaking like an earthquake. System alert. 10,000 zombies will arrive on the battlefield in 3 minutes. Get ready for combat. The first true horde since the apocalypse. Could 3 humans and a dog defend the city of Tianjin? With the traps set, the first wave of enemies arrived, the infamous trackers. Listening intently, Sao pointed out to himself the sounds coming from the wall of corpses. San Lin's face hardened. That's the horde. Sticking to the plan. Immediately, Zhao stormed behind Arpan's back. Xiao stormed into the mech's cockpit. While under San Yin's command, everyone took their positions, and then the horde descended. Meanwhile, Jin Yu anxiously asked San Gao, Brother Ao, that zombie girl wasn't lying. The horde is real. We're going to help or we're going to withdraw. Zhen Gao remained silent, divided by hesitation. Back on the bridge, ordinary zombies were advancing endlessly. The mech's firepower blinded him as Zhaoxi finished off the stragglers with precise headshots. Erping's clones destroyed the rest. Zhaoxi laughed. The boss is a genius. Look, nothing's happening. This does not protect anything special. On the front line, Sang Chun faced a pack of trackers face to face. He lunged forward, the blade shining. A storm slash followed, slicing the monster into 18 pieces. He started to charge his ultimate flash, but a hand grabbed his leg, cutting off the ability. Furious, he roared, "Interrogate me, burn in the fire of hell, and unleash the wrath of the Buddha Lotus." The flames engulfed the trackers, reducing them to loot. Sang Chen's harvest was faster than mowing the lawn. "Enough," he cried, "more fire, let it burn louder." Just then, an armored zombie approached him. Sang Chen scoffed, he knew it. The real feast comes late, but one glance at the wall of corpses made his heart sink. This number is crazy. He reloaded corrosive bombs while muttering. Once the battleship came into range, he attacked it with multiple corrosive rounds. His body melted at visible speed, but before he could relax, a tracker jumped the wall of corpses directly into his face. San Chun threw thermite charges and fired at the midair. The explosion incinerated the tracker instantly. However, the sea of zombies below only became denser. Sao Siji's mech was about to be invaded. San Chun barked, "Get off the wall, put up fire barriers with thermite." Walls of flames emerged, stopping most of the horde. His level bar was almost full. The fire barrier would hold, but the Colossi could break through it. Corrosive bombs would take 30 minutes at most. Sure enough, another Colossus went through the flames. Even worse, the trackers put together their own brat, smothering the fire. Half of the barrier's advantage vanished instantly. "See you later. Hold them with the mech," San Chin ordered. He rushed to the side to reload corrosive rounds. With their covering fire, their bombs landed, melting another Colossus. Shaoqi disguised himself as a zombie, lured the trackers and set off preset traps, arcs of electricity tearing them to pieces. Watching them fry, he scoffed, "Well deserved. They can't even tell a human from a zombie." Over and over again, he used the trick to thin out his ranks. Then Aosigi shouted, "There is no ammunition left in the fuse. How about a little? I'm going to transfer, hang in there." "The second wave is almost crushed," Sendin replied, but just as he was preparing the transfer, he noticed that a nearby Jaggernaut was acting strangely. In the next instant, he unleashed a burst of energy that hit both Sun Chen and the mech. The trackers surrounded him while he was dazed. The Jaggernaut grabbed the trackers, crushed them into bloody balls and threw them, red streaks crashing into San Chun and Sao Siji. Both were thrown dozens of meters away. San Chun hit the ground hard, paralyzed as the trackers piled up. I was about to be torn apart, when at the last moment, San Chun detonated an energy core, ascending to the middle stage of awakening. With advancement, he gained talent points in both awakened genetic and energetic pathways, blocking new powers, wild execution, rebirth, core resonance, and energy barrier. Looking at the 4 options before him, San Chun didn't have time to hesitate. There was no place to choose. He could only improve the rebirth and resonance of the core, the only way to survive this crisis. In the next instant, the tracker ball that was enclosing him suddenly burst into 6 rays of blue light. With the power of the core resonance, Sang Chun finally broke free. Then, relying on the healing of the Renaissance, he repaired the wounds infected by the trackers. But just then, he noticed that Sao's mech had indeed suffered serious damage and was now surrounded by zombies. San Chun immediately took out his Tang sword and ran forward. "Look, yeah, hang in there. I'm coming." Suddenly, a shot rang out, and the tracker clinging to the helmet of the mechla. They blew the head off with a clean shot. San Chun stopped the charge halfway and turned to the source of the shot. They were Sengao and Hinyu. They had come to support him. With Sengao covering from the rooftops, San Chun cut through the horde like a storm, reaching the Sao Sia side. "Sia, not me. I'm here." However, the crying continued from inside the mech. Sang Chen froze. No, that's not his voice. His mind reeled. What the hell is she crying for down there? Just then the system bell. Ding, hidden notice. Watch out for the new Type 3 mutant, the Whiner. Their wails not only attract zombies, but also infuriate and empower them. What? Is that a Type 3 thing? San Chun was shocked. Before he could recover, the zombies had already gathered around him. On the rooftop, Henju panicked to see him freeze up, but Sangao, looking through his sight, barked, "Wait, don't shoot yet. Look, the way these zombies move is wrong." They are getting closer, but keeping their distance. Something's not right. Back on the battlefield, San Chen was about to rescue Cao Zi, but Cao Zi shouted from inside the mech. Chun, those zombies were summoned by that criminal monster. He's smart, be careful. His warning came just as several trackers pounced on him. San Chun unleashed the core resonance again, shattered, building the nearby horde to ashes. But when the smoke cleared, a pale hand suddenly shot out from under the mech. A long-haired woman jumped out in the blink of an eye. Cao Ciji shouted, "Chun, no, he's trying to escape." Suspended in the air, the whiner suddenly fell silent. San Chun realized why. The damn thing had ordered his minions to cover his escape. He even discovered the triggering conditions of the resonance of the nucleus. So smart, then you definitely can't be allowed to live. San Chun pulled out his gun and attacked, but Lao Llorona's henchman blocked him. San Chen sneered to himself. Even that zombie titan is under his control. Don't tell me this whiner is some kind of femme fatal zombie. With that body, I almost believe it. However, when the tearful woman turned her face, Sun Chen gasped. Shit, he left Tabuda Almighty. He threw several corrosive bombs at the zombie titan, mostly to calm his shattered psyche. But to his horror, under the benefit of Lao Llorona, the titan's vitality shot up by 400%. He had only taken 28% damage. The titan, disgusted with Jin Chen, dealt him a massive punch without saying a word. Well, let's see who's stronger, me or you, pathetic without powered by your girlfriend. Watching the zombie couple flaunt their bond pushed this lifelong bachelor to the limit. Full of dog food, San Chun roared and attacked them with central resonance. The titan responded with a roar, throwing a colossal punch with his girlfriend by his side. Furious, San Chun raised his tan sword from 80 meters and cut straight ahead, but just before their attacks collided, he slid underneath with a baseball-style slide, redirecting his strike directly to Lao Llorona. Lao Llorona panicked and instantly abandoned her titan boyfriend. The titan was left alone to face Sang Chen's wrath. Cry, bitch, true love, shit. Go get a lunchbox in hell. On the rooftop, Sen Gao and Jin Yu shivered. We'd better never show affection in public in front of him. Coming to, Sen Gao noticed that the Maclitiate below was being invaded again. He prepared to go down with Sen Yu to rescue, but a cold voice sounded behind him. Are you still playing the saint at a time like this? The voice insisted. Sen Gao, don't you want to be as strong as Sun Chen? Turning around, Sen Gao saw that it was Qiongda. He told Hinyu to go ahead and wait for him. Qiongda did not stop her. He approached with a sharp tone. You survived so long in the apocalypse. You know the truth. Power doesn't come from killing zombies, it comes from killing people. San Chen's strength is carrying God knows how many lives on his back. Stop being a saint. He trusts you. Hurry him up, steal his hands. Nuclei, and you will be unstoppable. And you said you wanted to protect the camp, then get stronger? Don't hesitate. Sen Gao suddenly grabbed Qiongda's hand with his eyes alight. You're right, Ongda. You shouldn't be soft-hearted. I want to be able. Qiongda slapped him on the shoulder, smiling inside. To survive, I will cling to any straw man. If that straw man is this idiot Sen Gao, I will resurface. For the next second, his gloating ended in agony. Sen Gao plunged a sword into his stomach. Sen Gao's face was cold as stone. Killing you is much easier than killing Sang Chun. I should have defected to the Habs, shouldn't I? You left our camp a long time ago and still expect my protection. You're telling me to kill Sang Chun, that was just revenge, wasn't it? Because he massacred your master, he left you crawling back here. And wasn't that crippled arm of yours also his doing? When he finished, the system rang, recycling the corpse of extreme physicist, gained 892 energy cores. Upgraded the dual talent to the stage 3 of alarm clock. Zen Gao scoffed. Oh, just like you wanted. I'm stronger now. Meanwhile, Cao Zhao could barely contain a wave of trackers. More and more zombies were getting closer. He gritted his teeth. What do I do? He must be under even worse pressure. I can't drag him down. At that critical moment, San Gao appeared. Hey, are you okay? Seeing him, Xiao Zhao blinked in surprise and then shook her head. I'm fine, thanks. Elsewhere, San Chun had La Llorona cornered. He grunted. Finally, there's only you left, you disgusting whore. Time for you to grab your lunchbox too.